Here's Nicole Kimball. Kimball, the senior, she's the main focal point of this offense. You're going to see her with the ball in her hands a lot. She gets that one taken away. Katie Lake picks it up, and she'll get credit for the steal. Lake at the top of the key. She's going to survey, look for somewhere to go. Find J.C. May. May points. Into the corner. Lake back out to Harrison. Now they just slow things down with J.C. May at the top of the key. May's going to drive in with her right hand. Steps back, and the travel's going to be called on her. Just one too many moves there, as she should have put it up a little bit earlier. So 4-0, Sailors hanging on to. Sailors trying to climb back into this one. 6 minutes to play in the first. Game far from over, just underway. As Emily Koteritz looks inside. Rivera again under the basket, gets that one to trickle in. So the Sailors getting shut out now, 6-0. Here's J.C. May up the far side. May's going to cut back, bounce pass to Katie Lake. She loses it, goes between her legs. Harrison's there to pick it up. Harrison's going to hand off to May. Now May at the top of the key is going to line up. Sends it into the corner. Here's Sierra Harrison. With her right hand, back to May. Nothing doing here for the Sailors. Inside, finds Epstein. She'll try to post up. That one rims out and goes out of bounds. Stays with Steamboat. So Epstein with another missed shot. She's going to start the night 0 for 2. Lake will inbound it from the baseline. Lake calls the play. Looks for somewhere to go. And it's going to be a time violation on the Sailors. They can't get it within 5 seconds. So that's a big blown opportunity. And that's really the only time, I think, where you kind of, it comes into question, you know, what are the Sailors doing here? What's Coach Ibarra doing here? That was just a poorly executed play, I think, but Sailors looking to get back on track. Here's a layup from Kimball as she took the entirety of the Sailors' defense on at the forefront and proceeded to go score. 8-0. Sailors down after the Kimball lay-in. 4:59 to play in the first. Timeout here from Coach Ibarra. And we want to say a few messages from our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV. Yampa Valley Bank, the Yampa Valley's only locally owned bank, member FDIC. Alpine Lumber, employee owned and operated, the contractor's choice, the homeowner's friend. Mountain View Car Wash, helping the Sailors clean the competition between Town and McDonald's on Highway 40. And Russell's Auto Salon, your premier full-service auto body shop where you always meet by accident. Call Russell's Auto Salon at 879-1515. Again, Russell's Auto Salon, 879-1515. So coming out of the timeout, Sailors girls going to be inbounding it here. J.C. May from the baseline. She's going to look to feed her teammate, finds Katie Lake. Now Lake's going to dust up the far side, crossover dribble. She brings it beyond midcourt, swoops it to the left, back up to the top of the key. J.C. May for 3, that one's short. Kimball with the rebound. Summit back the other way. Nicole Kimball, top of the key. She thought about lining it up. Instead, she'll send it back to her teammate. This time it's Karen Barrios. Barrios gets it stolen away, and a jump ball is going to be called on with J.C. May and Barrios. And the referees say it will be awarded back to Summit. So Kimball's going to come out. Koteritz, rather. Emily Koteritz will inbound it. May back on the bench for the Sailors. Erica Simmons in the ball game. Koteritz looks over, finds Anna Tomlinson. Tomlinson with her left hand drives in, feeds the slasher back out to Tomlinson in the corner. She's going to drive the baseline, working versus Sam Campbell, and she's going to dish it back to Paola Arenado. Arenado on the floor again. Another tie-up jump ball. This time it's going to be going back with Steamboat, trailing by 8. So 4:15 to play in the first. Katie Lake's going to call the play. Looks up top, finds Sam Campbell. Lake. Now to Harrison. Harrison trapped in the corner. Epstein on the perimeter. Now they work it back to Katie Lake just beyond 3-point range. Lake to Harrison. Top of the key. Looks over, finds Epstein into the corner. Simmons for three. That one's short. Campbell rebounds, second attempt, and she'll get fouled. So Sam Campbell with 3:48 left to go in the first is going to head to the free throw line to shoot a couple. Katie Lake and Rose Epstein heading over to have some words with Coach Ibarra. Only the first foul for Summit on the evening. Sailors only have one as well, so both teams doing a good job of staying out of trouble for the most part. So Campbell gets the first bucket of the game for the Sailors, and it comes at the free throw line. Makes it an 8-1 game. We'll see if Campbell can continue to pile onto that. But really, this is an example of what Vlad and Chase and I were talking about in the pregame, where the Sailors just seem to have some quarters where they draw a lot of blanks. Epstein gets the free throw rebound and puts it back up for two, so make it 8-3 now. Epstein putting the Sailors within 5. Like I was saying, though, the Sailors only with 3 points here in the first quarter, about halfway through. Struggling to find a scoring option, as Epstein's going to steal that one away. And that's really the stem of a lot of their issues, just not being able to play a full game for 48 minutes. On the offensive end, Epstein bounces it off her face, catches it, now sends it up top. Here's Simmons back to the corner. Harrison hard off the glass, and that one's got too much on it. Kimball pulls down the board. Summit County and company back the other way. Tigers in black, Sailors in white. Top of the key, it's Barrios. Works it over to Kimball. Time running off the clock. Kimball with her left hand is going to draw a whistle, and is it going to be an offensive foul? We shall see. So instead, they're going to get the senior Harrison for a reach-in call. Now Shelby Weiss checks in the game for Epstein. And the Summit County Tigers are going to inbound it from the far side. Looking to add to this lead, it's Karen Barrios. Barrios looks to her left, finds Kimball. Kimball looks down, finds Barrios once more. Far side, top corner. She's going to dish it in, and almost stolen away. Anna Tomlinson's able to recover, give it back to Barrios. Now she's guarded by Katie Lake at the top of the key. Near side, top corner. Bounce pass over to Kimball. Kimball drives with her left, slashes all the way to the basket before being called for a travel. So Summit County gets called for steps, and that's a great defensive effort from the Sailors girls. 2:24 to play in the first. Weiss with the give and go to beat the coverage. Looks over and finds Katie Lake. Lake crossover dribble into the corner. She goes back up top. It's stolen away by Summit County. This time Kimball making do on her best on her efforts. Kimball drives. Turnaround jumper. That one rims out. Toilet bowled all the way around before finally coming out, and the rebound gathered by Tomlinson. Kimball back at the top of the key. She's going to call for the screen. Runs off of it to her left side. Now into the corner. It's stolen away by Harrison this time. So the Sailors doing a great initial job of getting a closeout on the ball and creating contact. They're putting the loose ball on the ground, and in result, the Sailors are coming up with some takeaways. And Anna Tomlinson gets called for an off-ball holding foul. Epstein checks back in the game, as does J.C. May. Katie Lake will take a seat on the bench, so will Sierra Harrison. So Shelby Weiss from the baseline looks over, finds Epstein. Epstein going to touch it, and it just falls out of bounds. That's an unfortunate play for the Sailors, as they're going to give it up. 1:34 to play in the first quarter, final 94 seconds. Moffat County leading by 5, 8-3. Summit County rather. The Tigers in a hostile environment, trying to take the Sailors on the road. Here's Barrios up top to Kimball. Nicole Kimball's going to drive in with her left hand. Stop and pop now gets tied up with JC May. Physical manner there. And refs pointing at JC May and Nicole Kimball. And now the referee's having some words with Coach Ibarra too, claiming that Erica Simmons kicked the ball while it was in the arms of Kimball. This is an interesting situation. Refs talking about if they're going to assess a technical foul. And so I believe they're going to call it a dead ball rather, or a jump ball rather. Nope. So they will give Erica Simmons a technical foul. So Erica Simmons, now a timeout for the Sailors. Simmons gets called for a technical foul. It was JC May and Kimball who were rolling around on the floor with the ball, and the refs are saying that Erica Simmons kicked the ball while it was in the arms of Nicole Kimball on the floor. I didn't see that. I thought it was going to be ruled a jump ball, but Erica Simmons is going to be given a technical foul. And now 2 free throws coming for Summit County. And the shooter they send to the line is Karen Barrios. So Barrios, the 5'6" junior, heads to the free throw line to take the technical free throws. First one is short. So the Sailors down 8-3. Simmons laughing with her teammates. I honestly believe that she is genuinely confused. I think she genuinely is surprised. I'm not sure what the refs saw, but obviously it was serious enough for them to give Simmons a technical. That's very interesting as Barrios makes the second one. So 9-3 with 1:19 to play in the first. Let's see how the rest of this one turns out. Summit County given possession because it was a technical, so they get the free throws and ball back. Kimball at the top of the key. She'll crossover dribble. Now into the corner she goes, and the baseline jumper is going to be too long from the Tigers. Looking up top, finds Epstein on the home run ball, and she can't make the wide open layup. That's unfortunate. Luckily, Simmons is there to tear it away again. Now she gets it inside to Campbell, back out to Weiss for 3. That one's got too much on it as well, and the Sailors can't convert once again. 9-3. Driving in. Off the glass. That one won't go. Paula Arredondo. Weiss gets the board with 30 seconds to go. Shelby Weiss gives it over to JC May. May, far side, top corner. Now up top to Campbell. Campbell to May. Stutters. Puts up a 3 and knocks it down for the biggest shot of the game thus far. 9-6. Sailors down by 3. Final 10 seconds. Stolen away by May. And now JC May just putting the backpack on and doing everything herself as she draws the foul with 8.7 on the clock. JC May, the senior, taking things into her own hands as we just saw her knock down the 3-point shot. Now she heads to the free throw line for 2 more. First one's up and in, so the Sailors knock it back to a 2-point deficit now. At 1 point trailing 8-0, now 9-7. May at the free throw line. 1 point game. It will be 9-8. Summit's got to make quick work here if they want to get it off before the buzzer. So they throw it into Kimball. Kimball's going to have to run the whole floor. She stretches it out, finds Arredondo all the way to the basket, and an offensive foul. So with 1.1 on the clock, Arredondo gets charged with the offensive foul, and that's a big break for the Sailors. They're just going to inbound it, and the final few moments in this first quarter are going to expire. So that'll do it for this first quarter of action. The Sailors in an interesting one with the 6-7 Summit Tigers down 9-8. And it wasn't that close until the final about 30 seconds of the game when J.C. May knocked down a big three-point shot and then went to the free throw line to bury both of them and put the Sailors within striking distance. Once again, I'm Lowen Epstein on the call by myself today at Kelly Meek Gymnasium. Sailors girls in a close matchup with the Summit County Tigers. Directly after this broadcast, remember that the Sailors boys basketball team, a team that is in the midst of a lot of ups and downs right now, in the midst of a lot of new learning experience and just doing their best to try to continue on with this season. A very young team, young starting lineup for the Sailors boys there tonight as they get set to take on Summit County as well. So keep your dials locked there. We're going to be here for a while. 9-8. Second half action. 105-7 KTYV. Summit County getting us started off here first. It looks like they're going to inbound it. Ball goes into the stands, tipped out by Epstein. So once again, we're going to have another try. Emily Koteritz gives it to Kimball. Nicole Kimball going to get D'd up by Harrison at the top of the key. Kimball 2 steps into the paint. Now she's going to pull this one out. Now Kimball's going to look inside, try to find her teammate. That's Emily Chavez. Chavez turns around, puts up a fall away, and that one airballs, misses everything. Sailors get it back. So Erica Simmons from the baseline. Going to slap the ball, call the play, try to break this full court press put in play by Summit. Sailors have been able to do so here for the entirety of this evening so far. They haven't really had any trouble, haven't really had a lot of turnovers here as they just look to pour in some buckets. Campbell in the corner. She drives in. 2 on her. Ball's on the floor. She picks it up, throws it against the backboard, and that one's got too much on it. Kimball now on the other end. Kimball with her left. Kimball to the corner. Now it's going to be Barrios. Barrios bounce pass, stolen away by Simmons. Nobody in front of her. She sees daylight and gets the bucket for 2. Sailors take their first lead of the game, 10-9. Kimball guarded by Simmons again. Top of the key, behind the back. Stutters. Finds the open man. That's Chavez, and the and one play in the paint. Epstein gets called on that one. And Emily Chavez, the senior, with a big bucket there as she's able to find the cup. So the foul goes against J.C. May. It'll be the 4th team foul of the half for the Sailors. Summit also has 4. J.C. May is going to take a seat on the bench. Katie Lake will check in the game. May's only got 1 so far. First one, and so Chavez gives the Tigers a 1-point lead. Now a 2-point lead as she converts on the 3-point play. 12-10. Sailors down by 2. Looking to knock this thing back up. Here's Katie Lake. Lake moving right to left, kicks it out to Campbell, and Campbell buries the baseline jumper. Good play there from the Sailors. Excellent execution. Now it's Summit trying to return the favor. Kimball, guarded by Harrison, stops. Kicks it outside. It's Koteritz, and a whistle's going to be called here. So it's an illegal screen against Kimball. And now the Sailors are going to get it back again. Game tied at 12. Weiss inbounding from the near side. Looks over. brings it beyond midcourt. She just lost it, and it goes out of bounds. I'm not sure what happened there, but Weiss just couldn't keep a grip on the basketball, and unfortunately, it's going to turn into a turnover for the Sailors. So now here's the Tigers looking to capitalize on the error. Kimball from 15 knocks it home. And Kimball puts the Tigers up by 2.
23. Delay game warning, black, put it in the book.
And so the referees issuing another foul. This time it goes against Autumn Rivera, and it's a delay of game warning. So they get Rivera for the delay of game warning, and the Sailors retain possession, leading down by 2, 14-12. Summit controlling this one for the most part. Here's Shelby Weiss, far side top corner. Into the depth she goes as she sends it down low to Campbell. Now Campbell works it back up top. Here's Katie Lake. Lake back to Weiss. Weiss around the horn. Campbell lining it up just beyond the perimeter. Back to Weiss for 3. That one's off the window. Epstein pulls down the board. Second attempt won't go. So here's Summit. Foul called here. Is this going to be against Epstein? It will be. Reach in. So the first one on her, 5th one on the team. Sailors with 5:23 to go before halftime. Summit County going to inbound. It's Anna Tomlinson. Tomlinson gives it over to Kimball. Kimball working off the screen, top of the key, back to Tomlinson from 10. She shoots it, and that one's got too much. Save from going out of bounds by Koteritz. Pulled away again. Here's Tomlinson for a second attempt, and that one's blocked under the basket by Campbell. And so Campbell sends it out of bounds. Summit County just going to inbound it once more. And now from the baseline they go. It's thrown up top. Kimball's able to corral it. Top of the key. Stutter step. Baseline. Into the corner. Tomlinson again. And now they get called for the travel. So the patience on the Sailors' end is going to pay off as they come away with another steal. Excuse me, not a steal, another turnover rather. And now they work it back into the offensive end, moving right to left on your radio dial. Here's the senior Harrison. Over to Epstein. Epstein up to Lake. Lake crosses over, drives in, dishes it to Campbell, and Campbell can't splash it home. Second attempt won't go either. And now Lake under the basket is going to draw the foul. So the perseverance on the Sailors' end proves to be worthy as Katie Lake on the third attempt is going to get sent to the free throw line. 14-12. Lake with a chance to tie it up. First one hard off the back iron, no good. Weiss, Epstein, Lake, Campbell, and Harrison, your Sailors on the floor. 4:25 left to go in the second quarter. Lake trying to make good on at least one of them, and she won't be able to. So she misses both. Campbell pulls down the rebound, and her attempt won't fall. She's able to get it again. Now they work it back out to Katie Lake, and she's just going to slow things down. Weiss walks into a 3. Can't splash that one home. Pulled away by the Tigers, and now they're back on the offensive end. So the Sailors doing an absolutely magnificent job of crashing the boards here tonight. They have been all over the rebounds. They are definitely winning that battle, and I can tell you it's not even close. Tomlinson misses a shot, rebound Summit, and Brina Babich gets it to go. Anyways, the Sailors have just not been able to hit on some of their layups right underneath the basket. Epstein's missed a couple, Campbell's missed a couple, Lake has missed a couple, and so if the Sailors are just able to convert on those, I think that this would be a completely different story. Missed shot again there by Campbell, and a foul is going to be called here. And it looks like Epstein is going to be sent to the free throw line. A holding call is going to put the Sailors into the bonus, and it goes against Autumn Rivera of Summit County. So the Sailors into the bonus. They'll be shooting a 1-and-1. Epstein at the free throw line. This one no good. So Summit pulls it away. Sailors down 16-12. 3:21 to play before halftime. Here's Kimball at the top of the key. Sailors in an offensive drought, haven't scored in a few possessions. Kimball's shot's going to be blocked by Campbell. Goes out of bounds once more, and Summit's going to stay with it. What a ferocious block by Sam Campbell, as she has been a force in the paint here tonight. So Summit trying to find the open man. It's Rivera on the inside. Loses it for a moment to Callie Smith. Now Smith over to Arredondo, and Arredondo's just going to work this one to Barrios. Barrios guarded by Epstein at the top of the key, trying to get Shiggy with it as she's going to dance off the defender, take the baseline, and it's stolen away. Campbell's there to intercept the pass. So the Sailors with a big opportunity here, down by 4. Into the corner. They kick it out. Campbell on the perimeter, almost stolen away. She's able to corral it off the floor. The loose ball stays with Steamboat. Now it's Lake getting the handoff. Lake into the corner. Tried to find Weiss cutting inside, and that one's stolen away by Summit. So Summit County with a takeaway. Kimball a 3-ball on the other end, and she wets that one down. They're going to say it was a long 2. 18-12, Sailors down by 6. Sailors looking for anything in the nylon, and Katie Lake dribbles that one off of her foot. Out of bounds. Summit retains. JC May going to check in here. Katie Lake will take a seat on the bench. 2 minutes to play before halftime. 6-point game. Here's Kimball. Another whistle called here. Let's see what this is. I think it's going to be against Summit. So it's an illegal screen against Paola Arredondo. And that's going to be a turnover for Summit. So with 2 minutes on the clock, the Sailors are going to have the ball. Down by 6, they need a bucket here. It's JC May. May over to Harrison. The senior controls it at the top of the key. She works it over to Weiss. Weiss down low to JC May. May's going to take the baseline, dribbling with her right hand, loses it, stolen away. Kimball with nobody in front of her. Fast break opportunity. She pulls it out from 15. That one's going to be no good. Sailors back with it. Here's May. Fast break. Farm to table, and she knocks it off the backboard for 2. 18-14 with 90 seconds to play in the half. Kimball, again, looking for anything. Drives with her left. She's been the main gal here tonight. Brianna Babich. Now over to Barrios. Barrios working versus Epstein. Puts up a shot. That one's got nothing doing, and Epstein was all over her. Great defense there. 1 minute to play. JC May off the dribble. Sends it to Harrison, then cuts to the basket. Harrison, far side, top corner, going to slow things down. 49 seconds on the clock. Weiss drives in. And Weiss's shot just looking for the foul. She threw her arms up, and on the other end, Rose Epstein is going to show her what a foul looks like. So Epstein is going to send Emily Chavez to the line. And Epstein gets her second of the game. 38 seconds on the clock. It's actually Brina Babich at the free throw line. Her first one, no good. So Epstein takes a seat on the bench, which is where we'll leave her for the remainder of the half. And Daisy Wilson will check in the game. Sailors down by 4. Babich can't get it to go. Sailors get the rebound. Here's some time for quick work. 18-14 with 34 seconds to go. Weiss at the top of the key. No one picked her up, and she drives all the way in and draws the foul. I don't know what Summit was doing. A lot of confusion on the floor as Weiss was taking it up the court and nobody picked her up. So she just went untouched all the way to the rack. And now she's going to shoot 2 at the free throw line. So Weiss knocks it home. Anna Tomlinson checks back in. Babich will check out. Weiss makes it a 3-point game with 29 seconds on the clock. Weiss again gets it to fall. So the senior with some big-time free throws in crunch time. 18-16, Sailors down by 2. Summit County looking to pile onto their lead as it's going to be Tomlinson on the baseline. 10-footer. That one's no good. Wilson with the rebound. Sailors going to have another opportunity. 17 seconds to play. 15. Countdown commences. Harrison in the corner. Harrison out to May. Over to Campbell. 5 seconds. Weiss off the glass. Gets it to go. And what an exclamation point to end a great first half of basketball as the Sailors walk into the locker room tied at 18. What a game. Stay locked in, folks. I'm Loan Epstein on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at SteamboatRadio.com. We'll see you after the break.
Steamboat Ace is a proud sponsor of the Steamboat Sailors. That's not the only way Ace supports you. Hi, Bridget here from Steamboat Ace. We are so proud to be a part of the Steamboat community. It's our priority to support and encourage positive activities and hobbies for our youth. How do we do that? In addition to local scholarships, ACE invites the sailor community to fundraise for their activity or club by providing a great venue and supplies to host a hot dog or bake sale.
I love it. Every weekend I can shop at Ace and support a good cause.
Steamboat Ace, we're proud to support the Steamboat Sailor Shop.
Hi, this is Grace. My parents own Hot Stuff Hearth and Home and proudly support the Steamboat Sailors. We feature all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more. Call them today at 879-7614 to schedule a service appointment with one of our expert technicians or a free in-home estimate for a whole new year. Hot Stuff loves my Steamboat Sailors basketball and is happy to keep this valley safe and warm. Hot Stuff Hearth and Home, located just off Highway 40 next to Walgreens. Go Sailors!
The team at Mountain View Car Wash Professionals is proud to be supporting Sailor sports this season. Whether a basic wash or a full detail, we know that the key to providing you with excellent service is teamwork and attention to detail. So while the Sailors are focusing on cleaning up the competition this season, we'll be focusing on cleaning up your vehicle. With affordable washes and a wide variety of detail services, we have the game plan to fit your budget and needs. We are located at the corner of Highway 40 and Trafalgar Drive. Mountain View Car Wash, where there are no Hail Marys, just awesome touchdown dances.
Hi, this is Cindy Hike, owner of Celebrations and Steamboat Arts on the 8th block of Lincoln Avenue. We recently added a new candy store and pottery painting studio for individuals or groups of 12 people or less. Check out our new additions to the arcade. We have air hockey, dig dug, and Galaga. Book a party online today at steamboatcelebrations.com or call 879-3333. Mention this ad and receive 2 free tokens. I'll see you at Celebrations, 831 Lincoln Avenue. Open daily, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
My name is Josie Flitt and I'm a junior. My number is 33 and I play post. I've played basketball for 4 years. I also like to play soccer. Outside of school and sports, I'm involved with NHS and Model UN. I'd like to go to college somewhere on the West Coast, and I will not play sports in college. In 10 years, I see myself having a job. My favorite subject in school is math. My favorite movie is Surf's Up. I like this movie because of Chicken Joe. Last summer, I went to France. So in France, I saw the Women's World Cup, and America won. Woo! Go USA! My goals for this season are to score points and not let points in and let George not get mad at me. My goals for life are to have a job somewhere and have a family. What I will remember most about being a sailor is all the good times we had as a team. I'm Josie Foote, a junior, and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
This is Skip Beardo from Alpine Lumber and Steamboat Springs. Alpine Lumber is a Colorado company and is committed to being the best supplier of materials and related services to the professional builder and homeowner throughout the Yampa, offering lumber and building materials, hardware, paints, and stains. And we are proud to support Sailors Basketball. Easy to find Alpine Lumber, located on Pine Grove Road past Walgreens. Alpine Lumber, employee-owned and operated, contractor's choice, homeowner's choice.
Hey, Sailor basketball fans, PJ Gordon of the Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. The Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball. On KTYV Sports on FM, Steamboat High School Athletics are an example of our genuine hometown. Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown banking. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
The Steamboat Sailors.
Steamboat Sailors hockey set to play in a pair of home games this weekend, starting with a rematch against Summit tonight. The Sailors are looking to bounce back after dropping a tough game against Fort Collins on Wednesday. Sailors hockey is made possible by Yampa Valley Bank, Alpine Lumber, Mountain View Car Wash, Russell's Auto Salon, Steamboat Ace Hardware, the Paoli Group, Celebration, Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rentals, and Mountain Mattress and Furniture. It's Steamboat hockey this weekend, beginning with a matchup tonight against Summit with the puck drop at 7:45.
Steamboat Sailors Ice Hockey on KTYV Sports on FM at 105.7 SteamboatRadio.com. It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
I'm Katie, number 11, and I'm a senior this year. I play shooting guard and point guard. I also like to run for the green player guard. Outside of school sports, I'm also actually no, I don't have a life. I would like to go to college. School lines, probably. I think I'm gonna trade it. That's all I play. Will I play in college? Probably not. In 10 years, I have no idea where I see myself. I couldn't even figure out where I want to go to college. My favorite movie isn't Spider-Man Homecoming anymore. I found a new movie. I saw something about Mary. I think it's called Something About Mary. No, is that the new
Well, that's what I was going to get you guys to do.
It's the funniest movie I've ever watched. Please go watch it. Last summer. Oh my gosh, I went to a movie.
This is the one who added me on Snapchat.
Absolutely. And my goal for the season is to be able to play. I terminated from April 7th. I will get back to that. Goals for life are to be happy. And when I remember most about being a sailor, I try to do that. All the team dinners that we've had, all the opportunities they've taken to make friends. My name is Katie. I'm a senior in high school, and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hey, Sailor basketball fans, PJ Gordon of the Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. The Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all of our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball. On KTYV Sports on FM, Steamboat High School Athletics are an example of our genuine hometown. The Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown banking. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
This is Skip Beardo from Alpine Lumber and Steamboat Springs. Alpine Lumber is a Colorado company and is committed to being the best supplier of materials and related services to the professional builder and homeowner throughout the Yampa, offering lumber and building materials, hardware, paints, and stains. And we are proud to support Sailors Basketball. Easy to find Alpine Lumber, located on Pine Grove Road past Walgreens. Alpine Lumber, employee-owned and operated, contractor's choice, homeowner's choice.
The
team at Mountain View Car Wash and Detailing Professionals is proud to be supporting Sailor sports this season. Whether a basic wash or a full detail, we know that the key to providing you with excellent service is teamwork and attention to detail. So while the Sailors are focusing on cleaning up the competition this season, we'll be focusing on cleaning up your vehicle. With affordable washes and a wide variety of detail services, we have the game plan to fit your budget and needs. We are located at the corner of Highway 40 and Trafalgar Drive. Mountain View Car Wash, where there are no Hail Marys, just awesome touchdown dances.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just got invited to the prom. Do you A, meet her date?
I need to see your past due report cards, your driver's license, a list of references, and business.
B, help her pick out a dress.
What?
Don't you just love the long sleeves and turtleneck on this pantsuit?
C, attend the prom.
Over there? Over there? Over there?
She's on the green. It's the green.
Oh, yeah.
Or D, capture your big moment.
Huh?
Let's take a photo of you two.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is Steamboat Sailors basketball, brought to you by Yampa Valley Bank, Alpine Lumber, The Corner Slice, Mountain View Car Wash, Russell's Auto Salon, Steamboat Ace Hardware, UC Health at Yampa Valley Medical Center, Chris Puckett at the downtown Edward Jones office, Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rentals, and Mountain Mattress and Furniture.
Now let's go to the booth for the call of Steamboat Sailors basketball.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lowen Epstein on the call here at Kelly Meek Gymnasium, where your Steamboat Springs girls basketball team is in the midst of a tight one, knotted at 18. Third quarter action underway here as the Sailors look to rattle off their third straight win, as it's Katie Lake at the top of the key. Sailors 5-11 on the year, still in playoff contention, actually third in the Western Conference. Looking to surpass Summit and Glenwood Springs. Ball's out of bounds, intended for Epstein. Lake and Epstein, just a little miscommunication there, goes out of bounds. So still tied at 18. Summit's going to have their first offensive effort of the second half now, with Kimball getting the ball. Kimball works up top. Sailors get caught behind. Barrios is going to handle it. Now down low. Here's a 15-footer off the rim. That one's no good from Anna Tomlinson. Sailors get it back. JC May on the rebound, near side top corner. She brings it up the floor for the Sailors, moving left to right on your radio dial this time around. It's Katie Lake in the corner. Lake's going to survey, send it to JC May. She gets it poked away for a moment. Now May's going to bring it back up the floor. May just beyond midcourt, near side top corner. On the perimeter, she's guarded by Tomlinson. Works it over, cross-court pass to Harrison, inside to Campbell, back out to Harrison. 15-footer on the way. That one's no good. Epstein pulls down the rebound. Epstein out to Lake. Lake's going to drive in, put up a floater, and teardrops it in for two. 20-18, Sailors take the lead. Summit trying to answer. Tomlinson inside, down low. She's guarded by Epstein. Kicks it back out to Kimball. Kimball on the perimeter. Kimball guarded by the senior now, Harrison. Now it's Tomlinson working versus Epstein. Sailors in man defense. Back out to Kimball in the corner. Kimball going to shoot the three. Kimball going to miss the three. JC May with the rebound, and now she slips up the sideline. Turns around, finds Lake. She shoots the three. That one's no good. Sailors can't pull down the rebound. Summit back with it on the other end. So a couple possessions here, all empty for both the Tigers and the Sailors. Tomlinson at the free throw line. Will turn around Jay. Won't take it. Instead dishes it back out to her teammate. Here's Kimball at the top of the key. Kimball forward facing. Inside finds Tomlinson with a nice feed there. Ties it back up at 20. Tomlinson getting up and under the likes of Epstein in the paint. Lake now loses it, throws it away, wide open on the other end. Barrios can't hang on to it, and she's going to get fouled. 2 shots coming for Karen Barrios, and the foul goes against Sam Campbell. So her second of the game. First one of the half for the Sailors. Did a great job in that first half not getting into foul trouble. They finished with 6. And the Summit Tigers were never put into the bonus. So Barrios makes the first free throw. Now a little change up here. Emily Koteritz is going to check out of the game, as will J.C. May. Simmons will check in for her. 5:12 to play in the third. Sailors down by 1, 20-21. Second one from Barrios, rims in. So 22-20. Sailors inbounding once more. Here's Katie Lake up the far side. Lake's going to stutter step, send it to Epstein. Epstein from 15, and she rings home the baseline jumper. Epstein not usually a far out shooter like that. Usually a girl that's in the paint a whole lot more. Knocks home the J. That's a big shot from the junior. 22-22. It's knotted here in the third. Whistle on the floor, as Summit County is going to retain possession. It was a jump ball. Summit County in the offensive zone. Here's the Tigers. Ball's going to be dribbled off the foot and out of bounds. They're going to say it was last touched by Barrios, so the Sailors get it back. This game so far has been one of a lot of ups and downs. The Sailors at one point trailing 9-0, proceeding then to play catch-up for basically the entirety of the second quarter, at which point they finished the first half tied at 18. Now both teams tied at 22. Shelby Weiss has the ball. Weiss outside, now it's Simmons. Simmons works it around the horn, finds Weiss again in the corner, and Weiss is going to lose it. Tipped out of bounds, last touch by the Tigers. So Shelby Weiss is just going to retain it and inbound it from the baseline. Weiss can inbound it now. Weiss looks over, finds Campbell. Campbell off the rip. That one's too hard, and Epstein's there to clear the board. Epstein sends it back out to Simmons, misses that one. Epstein's there again. She's cleaning up around the glass. As it's worked inside, Epstein now, she's going to take a shot, and she's going to draw the foul. So this possession is all Rose Epstein as she cleans up 3 rebounds and then finally puts up the shot herself and gets fouled. Excellent job there from number 32, the junior. Misses the first free throw. And Brina Babich is going to check in here. Tomlinson will check out. 22-22. Sailors looking to take the lead. Epstein at the free throw line with one more. And that one's short. Pulled away by Summit. Kimball on the other end. Kimball. Along the baseline, there's a shot way too far. That's Callie Smith. And a whistle's going to be called now on Erica Simmons. So Erica Simmons gets called for her second foul of the game. And it'll send Summit County to the free throw line with 2 looking back directly at them. First one good from Emily Chavez. Second one from Chavez going to be up and in as well. So a 2-point lead back for the Tigers. Sailors look to answer. Here's Weiss. Haven't seen her shoot a whole lot tonight. She brings it down the floor. Weiss over to Simmons. Simmons eyeing up the tray. Little give and go. Epstein finds Harrison, and Harrison misses the 10-foot jumper. Foul on the ground on the ensuing rebound. This one goes against Kimball. So Nicole Kimball gets called for the foul on the floor. No free throws for the Sailors. 24-22. Sailors down by 2. It's going to be Weiss stepping up. Left-hand drive off the glass. No good. Pulled away by Kimball. Kimball, home run ball, finds her teammate, and travel called there on Paola Arredondo, as she gets called for the steps. Would have been an easy bucket for Summit County. Kimball had the home run ball, laid it right in her hands, just could not convert. 24-22, Sailors down. 3:19 to play in the third. Erica Simmons working over to Harrison. Harrison gonna stutter step, send it to Weiss from 10 feet. She gets it to go. Shelby Weiss knots it at 24. Now Kimball again, off the screen. She'll take on Simmons and Harrison. Dishes it inside to Callie Smith, and she misses the wide open layup. Callie Smith with a big opportunity down the drain there. Here's Epstein falling away. Thought she was Kobe Bryant for a moment. And now the rebound by the Tigers. Epstein can't hit. 24-24. 2:23 to play in the third quarter. Here's Kimball setting her feet, shooting, falling away. That one won't go either. Ball goes out of bounds. Sailors get it back. Change up here as Karen Barrios checks in the game. Summit has 6 on the floor right now, and Powell Arredondo is going to check out. Epstein, Harrison, May, Campbell, and Weiss and Simmons, your Sailors on the floor right now. Katie Lakin is getting set to check back in. 2:12 left in the third. Tied at 24. Weiss in the corner. Someone's bound to hit a big bucket here at any point, really. Someone's got to do it themselves. And Simmons' shot gets blocked. Jump ball. Is it going to stay with Steamboat? It will. It will. So big break there for Steamboat. Weiss on the baseline. Weiss is going to inbound, find Erica Simmons. Simmons now going to pull it out beyond the arc. Simmons over to Weiss, into the corner. Here's Harrison, lines it up from 20. No good there. Rebound Lake. She dishes it back out. Now JC May is going to drive in, and she gets called. She draws the foul. It's going to be a pushing call on Karen Barrios. Is it going to be a shooting foul? No, it will not. And now Katie Lake checks in the game. Epstein will check out. 24-24. 1:42 before the third quarter comes to an end. Shelby Weiss on the baseline. Looks over, finds Simmons. Now top of the key. Here's May. May stutter steps, drives in from 15. She can't get it to go. Rebound Lake under the basket, and Lake's second attempt won't fall either. She gets it back. Weiss in the corner. Weiss for 3. You bet. You bet. Shelby Weiss, 27-24, biggest bucket of the game for the Sailors, comes at a crucial moment with 1:14 left to go in the third. Here's Barrios, coast to coast, poked away from behind. That's Simmons getting her hands in there. And now with 1:10 on the clock, Sailors hanging on to a 3-point lead. Summit County going to inbound it. Here's Barrios inside to Tomlinson. Tomlinson's going to post up, put up a shot, no good there. Pulled away by the Sailors. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Summit. And Daisy Wilson, this is interesting. Daisy Wilson, the sophomore, getting set to check in. She will take out Katie Lake. And so Lake's going to take a breather. Barrios inbounding it once more. Off-ball foul. Let's see what this is. And so it goes against the Sailors, and Daisy Wilson, as soon as she checks in the game, is going to get called for a holding foul. Her first one of the game. Sailors have 3 team fouls. Here's Barrios inside to Tomlinson, and she'll shoot 2. Tomlinson missed the bucket, but she's going to have an opportunity at the free throw line. I think this foul is going to go against Erica Simmons, and just like that, the Sailors get smacked with back-to-back fouls here late in the third. And the foul is going to go against Sierra Harrison. And Tomlinson hits the first free throw. So 27-25, chance to make it a 1-point game. Tomlinson at the line. This one going to be no good. Rebound Daisy Wilson. Gives it up to Weiss. Weiss up the far side, 27-25. Sailors looking to extend on this 2-point lead. Final minute remaining in the third quarter. Here's J.C. May, near side, top corner, gives it down low to Weiss. Weiss is going to eye up the floor, look for somewhere to go. Weiss inside to Wilson. She puts up a shot. That one's short. Wilson, Tomlinson on the board, pulled away, jump ball, and this one's going back with Summit. 37 seconds on the clock. Karen Barrios from the baseline. Barrios over to Kimball. Kimball getting caught up, and she gets called for a travel. Good defensive stop there from Erica Simmons as she just about nearly got the tie-up. As the Sailors working with 33 seconds on the clock. It's Simmons inbounding over to Shelby Weiss. Weiss now lines it up near side top corner, just beyond the perimeter. 25 seconds on the clock. Weiss pulls from way downtown. That one not going to fall, and now Summit County with an opportunity. Final 15 seconds on the clock. Here we go, Kimball. Nicole Kimball. Stutter steps, drives in, no foul, and they're going to have a late whistle. Kimball's going to draw the foul. Fifth team one against the Sailors. 10 seconds to play, and Nicole Kimball's going to head to the free throw line with a chance to tie this one up. Kimball, the senior. These two teams are number 3 and 4 in the conference. Summit County vying for a playoff spot as well. And Kimball misses the first one. So 10 seconds to go in the third. Sailors are going to have to win this in the fourth. Something they're not used to doing. Kimball hits the second one, and now the Sailors with a final opportunity. 5 seconds on the clock. 1-point game. 27-26. Here's J.C. May. Kicks it out. Harrison from deep. That one hits the top of the backboard and won't go. So after 3, the Sailors are going to head into the final frame of this one, leading by 1. It was tied at halftime, and now it's a 1-point game going into the fourth quarter. I don't know if you can ask for anything much better. Keep your dials locked as the Sailors going to have some words with Coach Ibarra now, and we want to say a quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at steamboatradio.com. Steamboat Ace Hardware, the helpful place for hardware, plumbing, tools, grills, garden, and more, by offering our customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products. The Paoli Group, if you're searching for your own prime real estate, give them a call at 870-0552. And Celebrations, formerly in Celebrations of Kids, is fun for kids of all ages. Check out the brand new arcade games, 1,600 square foot candy store, and 25 flavors of Hawaiian shaved ice plus more. Schedule your party today, steamboatcelebrations.com. Hot Stuff Hearth and Home is locally owned and operated, featuring all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more. And always quality expert service. Go check out Hot Stuff Hearth and Home. So the Sailors coming back out for the fourth and final frame of this one in what looks to be a huge game for the Sailors. They have an opportunity to actually pull ahead of Summit County if they win here today in the standings, meaning they could be a top 2 team in the conference at the end of today. Here's Sierra Harrison, and she's going to get called for a foul right off the bat, so she's going to shoot 2. Harrison's going to head to the line to start us off here in the 4th. Sailors have 5 team fouls, and on the other end, the Summit County girls have 4. Sailors 2 away from putting Moffett into the bonus. And the senior Sierra Harrison makes this a 2-point game once more. Sam Campbell going to check in, as will Katie Lake. Weiss and Daisy Wilson going to check out for the time being. 28-26, 4th quarter action here on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at SteamboatRadio.com. Here's Harrison again. This one won't go, and Summit County looking to tie things back up now on the offensive end. Here's Nicole Kimball. Kimball at the top of the key. Kimball, crossover dribble, sends this one to Emily Koteritz. Koteritz now guarded by J.C. May. Koteritz is going to send it in to Kimball. Kimball's going to step back, shoot the 3. That one's off the front iron, too short. Out of bounds, Sailors retain. And so if you're the Sailors here in the 4th quarter leading by 2, I think your best bet is just to make sure nothing easy comes in the paint. I would let them shoot those 3-point shots all day if I'm Coach Ibarra, because really this Summit County team has only made one of those. They're 1 for 5 in this game on 3-point shots. I think you run with the statistics and just make them beat you from the 3-point line. Don't let them get anything inside, as Campbell knocks home a nice jumper there. 4-point game now, 30-26. Inside, it's Tomlinson. Back out to Barrios. Barrios, hand off to Kimball. She really hasn't come off the floor here tonight. Nicole Kimball, the senior. Her last time playing in Steamboat Springs. She's played here for 4 straight years. A fixture on this Summit County team, and a foul is going to be called here. So this one goes against Campbell, and it's her 3rd of the game, Sailors' 6th team foul, and they're just about to put this Summit County team into the bonus here in the 4th. And the free throw's good from Tomlinson. Epstein checking back in the game. What did you say? Rivera? Oh, it's Rivera? Okay. Excuse me, Rivera rather at the free throw line. Second one's going to be no good. Pulled away by Summit County. Here we go, it's Arredondo. And her shot no good. Epstein with the rebound and the kick out to Simmons. Sailors leading by 3, 30-27. Erica Simmons over to Katie Lake. Lake at the top of the key, dishes it inside to Epstein, and she just can't hang on to that one. Goes and chases after it. She's going to get it back. Epstein now over to Katie Lake, near side top corner. Lake's going to walk into a 3-point shot, puts that one up too short. Pulled away by Lake. She got her own board. Flying in from the perimeter, and now a timeout's going to be called by Coach Ibarra with 6 minutes to go in the ball game. 30-27. Tonight on ESPN, big games across the NBA. The biggest one being in Los Angeles, where the Lakers will be taking on the Portland Trailblazers in the first game since the death of legendary Kobe Bryant. Staples Center going all out tonight. Very emotional game. A lot of players on both teams had a lot of moments with Kobe Bryant. That game will be at 8:30 tonight on TNT. And just a sad week in the basketball world across the world. And it's really just a pleasure to be out here calling these games. I think we take a lot of things for granted. And having the opportunity to announce high school basketball, something that I should be grateful for every day. As the Sailors come back out of the timeout, So it's going to be J.C. May off the inbounds pass from the near side. J.C. May is going to look over, find Katie Lake. Sailors looking to hang on to a 3-point lead and move to 6-11 on the year. Lake dishes it over to Simmons. Simmons crossover dribble. Just long possessions here if you're the Sailors, I think. As long as you can, you really just want to do your due diligence in trying to run time off the clock. Epstein's shot no good, and it's going to be a foul on Katie Lake over the back. But if you're the Sailors, the last thing you want is to have that quick shot that misses and then Summit County gets it back on the other end. You want to take as much time off the clock as possible and only shoot it if you know it's a wide open look. And the Sailors now putting Summit into the bonus, so Katie Lake's foul in the paint on the other end is going to result in a 1-and-1 for Kimball. And she hits the first one, so she's going to have one more. 30-28, it's a 2-point game. 5:39 to play in the fourth. Sailors boys getting set to play directly after this. Kimball at the free throw line. Second one good. So she goes 2 for 2. It's a 1-point game. 30-29. Here's J.C. May looking to hang on to it. May at the top of the key, works it over to the far side. It's Katie Lake. Lake's going to stutter step, 2-step into the paint. She's going to duck under, put up a shot, no good. Epstein on the second attempt. That one won't fall either. Summit gets it back with a chance to take the lead. Kimball top of the key. Kimball off the screen. Kimball off to Smith, and now Smith to Barrios. Her shot looked like it got blocked, and Tomlinson was going for the rebound. She steps out of bounds, and the Sailors catch a big break there as they're going to retain possession. Sam Campbell checking back into the game for Epstein. 5:02 to play. It'll be J.C. May taking it up the floor, moving left to right on your radio dial. Sailors wearing their all-white uniforms with red numbers and red lettering, red piping down the sides. In the corner, it's Erica Simmons. Simmons looks in, finds Lake. Lake is going to get called for a travel as she went up and didn't shoot it. Great defensive play there from Callie Smith to stop her shot before it was able to get off. 30-29, 1-point game. Kimball gets trapped in the corner, and she's just going to run through the entirety of this Sailors defense. Steps back from 15 and buries it. Summit County takes a 1-point lead with 4.5 minutes to go in this one. J.C. May, top of the key, runs off the screen, falling away. That one won't go. Campbell, the kick-out rebound to Lake, and her three-pointer with too much on it goes out of bounds. Summit County looking to pile onto their 1-point lead. So here's Kimball. Sailors need to stop. Nicole Kimball, far side, top corner. She crosses over, sends it outside. Cross court pass to Callie Smith. She puts up a shot, no good, and Lake's there for the board. Katie Lake into the corner. Campbell back out to Lake. Pump fake beyond the perimeter. Kimball on her. Works it over to Simmons. Under 4 to play. Hands it back off to Lake. Lake guarded by Kimball. Crossover dribble. She drives in with her left. Sends it back out to Simmons. Simmons in the corner. Campbell deep 2, and she wets it back. Sam Campbell with a big-time shot there from the baseline. Stolen away by J.C. May. Can they do it again? It's out to Harrison. Harrison back to Campbell again. She gets it to fall, and Sam Campbell with back-to-back buckets to put the Sailors up by 3. 34-31. Crowd loves it. Foul on the other end. Kimball's going to go to the free throw line. So Sam Campbell with back-to-back buckets makes it a 34-31 game. And now Kimball at the free throw line with a chance at 2. And Sam Campbell just got called for her 4th foul of the night. So one more for Campbell, and she's going to be done. First free throw missed from Kimball, and we're going to see a timeout from Coach Ibarra. 3:09 to play in the fourth, 34-31. Fourth quarter action here on 105.7. And want to say another quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at steamboatradio.com. Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rentals. Friends coming to town, call us at 970-879-8000 for the Locals Connection discount. Mountain Mattress and Furniture located on Loggers Lane, offering the best prices and service without leaving the valley. Shop local, sleep great. Yampa Valley Bank, the Yampa Valley's only locally owned bank, member FDIC, and Alpine Lumber, employee owned and operated, the contractor's choice, the homeowner's friend. So both teams going to come back out here for more fourth quarter action. Kimball at the free throw line with a chance to make this a 2-point game. 34-31, Kimball's free throw is going to fall. So now 34-32 with 3:09 to play. Let's see if the Sailors can ice this one up. It's going to be Weiss. Around the horn they go. It's Campbell in the corner. Under 3 minutes to play. They kick it out to Simmons, now to Campbell, back to Weiss, now to Campbell again. Her shot missed, and Summit gets a clean rebound. So now if you're Summit County, you're coming down the floor, you've got 2:45 to play. It's Nicole Kimball. I think you want to slow things down, and Kimball shoots the three. Rebound Tomlinson, she goes up again off the glass, no good there, tipped out by the Sailors. And Summit wanted that one back. They'll retain. If you're the Summit Tigers, I think the best thing you do right now is really just look for the high percentage shot. You don't need a three-pointer, and you don't need a fancy turnaround shot. You really just need to find someone under the basket and get that layup to go. 34-32, 2:22 to play. Tomlinson is going to dribble it off of her knee, and that is an unfortunate series of events for Summit County as the Sailors get it back with 2:19 to play. 34-32. Here's Erica Simmons. Summit County also has 3 fouls to give. Timeout, Coach Ibarra. He's going to draw something up for his girls here in the fourth. 2:13 left to play. Sailors leading 34-32. I'm Lowen Epstein on 105.7. Thanks for keeping your dials locked. Directly after this broadcast, the Sailors boys will be taking on Summit County as well. The boys are another team that has had a lot of ups and downs this season. They're barely standing above 500, 9-8 on the year, vying for a playoff spot still. And this game against Summit County here today is going to be a big one for them. Light-handed as well. So now back to the girls. Kelly Meek Gymnasium. Sailors up by 2, 34-32. 2:13 to play. Off the inbounds pass, it's Simmons from Weiss, and she spins it in on the rack. And Coach Ibarra's drawn-up play is able to work, and that's a big-time bucket from Erica Simmons. The junior point guard makes it a 4-point game with 2 minutes to play. Kimball gets the inbounds pass. And an offensive foul called against Nicole Kimball. Wow. Sailors girls ecstatic right now. 2 minutes in this one. 4-point game. Kimball gets called for the offensive foul as she was not even driving into the paint. She was bringing it up beyond midcourt. So now here's Harrison. Harrison over to Simmons. Now to Weiss from 3 to ice the game, and it won't go. Out of bounds. Summit County going to get it back. 1:47 to play. 36-32. Here's Karen Barrios. Timeout, Tigers. So when we come back, Summit County will be inbounding it from their defensive zone. They got to get it all the way down the floor. Plenty of time on the clock. I think that a lot of times teams find themselves in situations like this, and a lot of the times the reason that they lose the game is because of the fact that they just can't control the pace and they choose to just rush it too far. Hopefully that's not the case here today. Summit County needing to hold on here and get a big-time bucket. On the other end, though, the Sailors playing dominant basketball for really the entirety of this one as they're looking to string together, like I said, another win. Another win for the Sailors. It would be back-to-back and a huge step for them in terms of potentially making the playoffs. I can't even believe I'm saying that. It would be their 6th win of the year for this girls team, as they're coming off a victory in Eagle Valley. Lost to Glenwood the previous week. 5-11 on the year. Foul called, offensive again. Wow. So this time it's Kimball. And so the senior's going to get called for back-to-back offensive fouls in the waning moments of this one. And if Summit County goes on to lose this game, that is going to be a huge reason why Kimball's going to get called again. This time it's a reach. And with that, I believe she will foul out, as that is her 5th. So Nicole Kimball, arguably the best player on this Summit County team, she's averaging 8 a game this year, has just fouled out for the final 90 seconds of this one. 36-32, 1:30 to play. Free throw, no good from Summit County, from the Sailors rather. Summit County going to get it back with an opportunity here. Here's Callie Smith. Smith over to Barrios, and now a whistle called against the Sailors. That'll be Sierra Harrison, and that's really not what you want to do. There's just no reason for that this late in the game, especially when you're leading. So with the Sailors in the bonus, that is going to send Summit County to the free throw line with a 1-and-1. So it's Barrios. Hits it. Wow. And with 1:24 to play, it's a 3-point game. Karen Barrios down 36-33. She has one more in the pressure cooker. Barrios won't go. On the ground, jump ball, and it goes to the Tigers. Wow. So with 1:21 now, Tigers trail by 3. They're going to win the jump ball and have another opportunity to inbound it. Here's Callie Smith. Foul called, and again it's going to be offensive. And off the inbounds pass, the Sailors getting a huge break as Autumn Rivera gets called for the offensive foul off the inbounds pass. That is a huge call for the Sailors. And now they're going to inbound it. So Weiss inside to Simmons. Loses it, and it's stolen away. Summit County gets it back. It's on the floor, and a jump ball is going to be called. Will it stay with Steamboat? And Tomlinson's on the floor, it looks like. Excuse me, Rivera with an injury. So Autumn Rivera with her coaches and trainers coming out to attend to her, Sailor's going to use this as an opportunity for a timeout. And Coach Ibarra is going to have some words with his team. 1:13 on the clock. Final 73 seconds in this one. Sailors hanging on to a 3-point lead. Autumn Rivera looking to get onto her feet. Good to see that. She's still on the ground. Sailors boys waiting enthusiastically over by the doors as they will immediately take the floor after the girls. Later tonight, Summit County Hockey also in town at the Howie Dome to take on the Steamboat boys. Vlad and Chasel and Andrew Bilski will be on the call there. That game at 7:45. So the Sailors girls in basically what is a do-or-die situation here. If they do not win this game against Summit County, you might as well count their playoff hopes out. It's basically done at that point. It's most likely, it's very, very improbable that it would happen if they lose this game. If they win this game, it helps them immensely. Weiss is going to get a home run ball, fadeaway jumper from May. She can't get it to go. On the rebound, Weiss puts another one up. That one won't fall. Campbell again, and a foul is going to be called here against Barrios. 1-and-1 coming for Sam Campbell. So 1:04 to play. Sailors' playoff hopes riding on this one. This is a must-win game for them. Campbell at the free throw line. She's going to have a 1-and-1. Weiss, Lake, May, and Simmons also on the floor, and she misses it. So the rebound goes to Summit. 1:02 to play. 36-33, and a timeout going to be called by Summit County with 57 seconds on the clock. Turn your dials up, folks. This is about to get exciting. So down by 3. Remember, there's no shot clock. There's no shot clock in high school basketball. So the next time the Sailors get the ball, they can essentially hold it for as long as they want until they're either fouled or the game runs out. So that being said, your Summit County, you know that this right here is going to be your best opportunity at things. And so it becomes a matter of whether or not you want to shoot a three-point shot or not. Because a three-point shot would tie the game up, keep the clock running. But if you miss, at that point the game, you're forced to foul, and the game at that point basically just becomes a foul race until the clock runs out. So we'll see what Summit County decides to do here. It's going to be inbounded from Callie Smith. Remember, they still have to beat the full court press from the Sailors. Here's Smith. Smith's going to look over, and she'll find Barrios. Barrios up the near side, loses it for a moment. Smith is able to get it off the floor, and she throws it up. It's tipped out by the Sailors, and Summit County retains possession. 48 seconds on the clock. 3-point game. Callie Smith over to Barrios. And now Barrios gets called for a travel, and the Sailors get it back. Wow. So a big-time defensive effort from Steamboat Springs as Shelby Weiss is going to inbound it. Koteritz checks in. Barrios checks out. Weiss off the inbounds pass. Your best bet, if you're Summit County, is to intercept it right here. Weiss running out of time. Looks over, finds Campbell. Campbell in the corner, and a foul is going to be called here immediately on Callie Smith. She was forced. 43 seconds to play. 36-33. Campbell's going to head to the free throw line to shoot a 2-and-2. It's double bonus area now for the Sailors. The free throw good from Campbell, and that is probably the biggest shot of the game. Makes it a 4-point effort for the Sailors now, 37-33. Campbell again, and that one's just about going to ice it as they put it within 2 possessions. 38-33, it's a 5-point game. Barrios and company got to work quick, and a foul's going to be called here, as Barrios and Lake get tied up. Let's see what the refs say. And so Campbell, with her 5th foul, is going to foul out. And this could be a big one. So Sam Campbell's out of the game, and the crowd for Steamboat's excited. They're giving her a round of applause. And they're acting like the game's over, but it's only a 5-point game, and Barrios is at the line. So the first one, good. So now it's back to a 4-point game, and you've got 41 seconds on the clock. So Barrios in the pressure cooker again. Can she hit it? Barrios goes 2 for 2 from the line, and Summit loves it. So now here's Steamboat. Katie Lake is going to get fouled. It's a 3-point game. They're going to send her to the free throw line with a shot at 2. Once again, later tonight at the Howie Dome, Vlad and Chase, Andrew Bilski on the call there, where the Steamboat Springs boys hockey team is going to take on Summit County. Full No Boundaries cast and crew there, minus me, of course. No Boundaries, you can catch the greatest show on sports radio Tuesdays from 5 to 7. So Lake misses the second one. She made the first one. It's a back to a 4-point game, 39-35. Whistle on the floor, and this one goes against Katie Lake. And so at the free throw line, it's going to be Arredondo. Paola Arredondo, the 5'4" freshman. Paula, first one no good. And it's a 4-point game with 36 seconds to play. And just like I said, folks, this game coming down to the free throw line in the midst of it. Now we're going to see a timeout from Summit County with 36 seconds left in this one. Sailors clinging on to a 4-point lead. It has just been back and forth between the 2 free throw lines at the end of this one. A game that was tied at halftime. After 3 quarters, it was a 2-point game. And now with 36 seconds left, it's a 4-point game. And the Sailors have just done a great job of keeping this Summit County team at arm's distance pretty much the whole night. Just need to get out of here with a couple smart possessions, and before you know it, that'll be it. 39-35, 105.7 KTYV. And our live stream also on SteamboatRadio.com. Sailors girls, take a look ahead to the remaining schedule for them. They have Rifle next week. That game will be on February 6th. Then Battle Mountain and Glenwood Springs at home. And then they're going to close out the season in Summit County, which, depending on how the remainder of Summit's season go, could have massive playoff implications. We'll see. Sailors got to win this one first. One more free throw for Arredondo. Crowd getting loud, and she misses it. Weiss with the board. Foul called here. And this one should about wrap it up. With 33 seconds on the clock, Shelby Weiss is going to get 2 here.
Let's go, Shelby! Yeah, Shelby!
Weiss makes it. And the Sailors eclipse 40 points and go up by 5. And I think 6 might look to be the bow on everything here, as Shelby Weiss hits the dagger second free throw with 33 seconds to play, 41-35. Here's Summit County working it up the floor. Tomlinson inside, puts up a shot, high off the glass. Second attempt falls, that one good from Chavez. Now Summit's going to be forced to foul again. It's still a 4-point game. 19 seconds on the clock. Simmons at the free throw line. She'll shoot 2. And these are big. Erica Simmons misses the first one. So it remains a 4-point game, 41-37. 19 seconds to play. Simmons, second one falls, and she pushes it back to 5. So here we go. It's Summit County looking to make quick work. They lose it. It's on the floor. A tie-up's going to be called, and it'll stay with the Tigers. 10 seconds on the clock. 42-37.
I think their table's broken.
As they look to inbound it one last time. Inside they find Tomlinson. She puts up a shot and it won't go. Weiss with the rebound, and she draws the foul. Shelby Weiss celebrating with her teammates as she heads down to the other end to take what should be the final 2 free throws of this game. With 5 seconds on the clock, Sailors with a pretty solid 42-37 lead. Weiss misses the first one, and she'll have one more. 5 seconds on the clock. Shelby Weiss at the free throw line. Second one goes. Summit County, last ditch effort. Buzzer sounds. That'll do it for this one. And the Steamboat Springs girls are going to cap off an absolutely stunning win with a standing ovation from their home crowd in Kelly Meek Gymnasium. What a scene here on a crisp Saturday night where the Steamboat Springs girls playoff hopes continue to stay alive. I'm Lowen Epstein on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at SteamboatRadio.com, telling you to keep your dials locked because next up, we've got the boys. We'll see you after the break.
Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM is brought to you by the Valley Bank.
Steamboat Ace Hardware, Rockwood Auto Care, Mountain Custom Furniture, Steamboat Desserts, Skywood Kitchen and
Colorado Beef Whiskey. Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM at 105.7 and SteamboatRadio.com.
I'm Terry, and this is Phil from Russell's Auto Salon. If you need help with your auto collision repair, we make it easy. Just bring me an email and a claim number, and I'll take care of the rest.
Russell's Auto Salon, Colorado's premier collision center, leading the industry in technology. We're we've gone green with environmental. We are proud supporters of Steamboat Sailors Sports.
Russell's Auto Salon, where we always meet by accident. 879-1515.
Russell's Auto Salon.
879-1515.
Managing local land involves balancing resources such as agriculture, water, and wildlife. I'm Brian Ripley, and I have over 16 years of experience managing ranch resources as your neighbor here in Routt County. I'm the Ranch and Rural Property Specialist for the Paoli Group with the support of Colorado Group Realty. Put your trust in someone that has the practical experience and knowledge to help you with all of your ranch, rural, and equine property needs. I aspire to help you reach all of your real estate goals. I'm Brian Ripley, and you can find me at thepaoligroup.com in the Ranch Division.
Steamboat Ace is a proud sponsor of Steamboat Sailors. That's not the only way we support the community. Hi, Bridget here from Steamboat Ace. We are so proud to be a part of the Steamboat community. It's our priority to support and encourage positive activities and hobbies for our youth. How do we do that? In addition to local scholarships, ACE invites the sailor community to fundraise for their activity or club by providing a great venue and supplies to host a hot dog or bake sale. I love it. Every weekend I can shop at ACE and support a great cause. Steamboat Ace, we're proud to support the Steamboat Sailor Shopping.
This is Skip Beardoff from Alpine Lumber and Steamboat Springs. Alpine Lumber is a Colorado company and is committed to being the best supplier of materials and related services to the professional builder and homeowner throughout the neighborhood, offering lumber and building materials, hardware, paints, and staples. And we are proud to support Sailors Basketball. Easy to find Alpine Lumber, located on Pine Grove Road, basketball greens. Alpine Lumber, employee-owned and operated, contractor's choice, homeowner's choice.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hi, I'm Rose Epstein and I'm a junior at Steamboat Springs High School. I'm number 32 and I play the post position. I've played since middle school and all throughout high school so far. I also like to mountain bike in the summer and hang out with my friends. Outside of school and sports, I'm also involved in helping my brother with special needs. In 10 years, I see myself in school, just working probably and trying to make a living. My favorite subject in school right now is math, probably because it's a challenge, but I also really like it. My favorite movie is Bridesmaids because so I can always laugh. Last summer, I mountain bike raced like every weekend. It was super fun. My favorite race was probably Powderhorn because we had a lift service access and I got second place. My goal for this season is to average more points than I did last year, probably 2 points a game. What I'll remember most about being a sailor is all my friends I made and the sports that keep us a family. I'm Rose Epstein, I'm a junior in high school and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
The team of Mountain View Car Wash and Detailing Professionals is proud to be supporting sailor sports this season. Whether a basic wash or a full detail, we know that the key to providing you with excellent service is teamwork and attention to detail. So while the sailors are focusing on cleaning up the competition this season, we'll be focusing on cleaning up your vehicle. With affordable washes and a wide variety of detail services, we have the game plan to fit your budget needs. We are located at the corner of Highway 40 and Trafalgar Drive. Mountain View Car Wash, where there are no Hail Marys, just awesome touchdowns.
Hi, this is Grace. My parents own Hot Stuff Art and Home and proudly support the Steamboat Sailors. We feature all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more. Call them today at 879-7614 to schedule a service appointment with one of our expert technicians or a free in-home estimate for a whole new year. Hot Stuff loves my Steamboat Sailors basketball and is happy to keep this valley safe and warm. Hot Stuff Hearth and Home, located just off Highway 40 next to Walgreens. Go Sailors!
Hi, Steamboat friends. This is Charlie Green from Mountain Mattress and Furniture. Do you ever notice how grumpy your parents get when house guests arrive? Or how mean your big sister gets when you have to share her room for the weekend? I've got the secret to keep everyone happy. Stop by Mountain Mattress and Furniture on Loggers Lane for the best price and selection on Serta, Tempur-Pedic, and Simmons mattresses. Plus a great selection of linens and even comfy mattresses for the pull-out couch. If everyone sleeps, everyone stays happy, and a great mattress from Mountain Mattress and Furniture is the secret.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Parker Lindquist. I'm a sophomore at Steamboat Springs High School. I'm number 35 on the basketball team, and I'd say I play power forward. So this year's going to be my first year playing on the varsity team. Outside of school sports, I'm also involved in venue church. I'm not really sure where I'd like to go to college so far. We'll just see what I'd love to play in college if given the opportunity. Basketball for sure. 10 years, I'm not exactly sure where I see myself, to be honest. My favorite subject in school is I like computer science. My favorite movie, Ghostbusters. It's just full action. Love it. Last summer I worked at college, good work environment, and I hung out with friends a lot. My goal for this season is to get comfortable with varsity game speed and pulling massive boards. My goals for life are, my main goal is just to be happy. What I remember most about being a sailor is bus rides and hanging with the boys before. My name is Parker, I'm a sophomore, I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hey, Sailor basketball fans, PJ Wharton of the Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. The Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all of our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM. Steamboat High School Athletics, an example of our genuine hometown. Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown banking. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
Steamboat Resorts not only offers a large array of properties that can host your next Steamboat vacation, we have been giving back to the Yampa Valley for more than 30 years. Hi, this is Todd Seifkin, Executive General Manager for Steamboat Resorts. Steamboat Resorts and its local employees have been partnering with our community since 1980. From Sailor Sports to the Pro Rodeo Series, Route County 4-H, and Yampa Valley Sustainability Council, to name just a few. Call us at 879-8000 or go online to steamboatresorts.com. Steamboat Resorts, local lodging.
Managing local land involves balancing resources such as agriculture, water, and wildlife. I'm Brian Rickert, and I have over 16 years of experience managing ranch resources as your neighbor here in Route County. I'm the ranch and rural property specialist for the Paoli Group with the support of Colorado Group Realty. Put your trust in someone that has the practical experience and knowledge to help you with all of your ranch, rural, and equine property needs. I aspire to help you reach all of your real estate goals. I'm Brian Rickert, and you can find me at PaoliGroup.com in the ranch division.
Steamboat Ace is a proud sponsor of the Steamboat Sailors. That's not the only way Ace supports. Hi, Bridget here from Steamboat Ace. We are so proud to be a part of the Steamboat community. It's our priority to support and encourage positive activities and hobbies for our youth. How do you see that? In addition to local scholarships, Ace invites the sailor community to fundraise for their activity by providing a great venue and supplies to host a hot dog and egg sale. Love it. Every weekend I can shop at Ace and support a great cause. Steamboat Ace, proud to support the Steamboat Sailors.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
My name is Kate Campbell, I've been playing for 8 years, and I also play for soccer. Outside of sports, orchestra, I play the violin. I'd like to go to college, Duke, and I don't think I'll play anything in college, maybe probably either soccer or basketball. In 10 years, I see myself working in the field of marine biology, and my favorite subject in school is either Spanish or AP Bio. My favorite movie is Free Solo because it's super dramatic, and I love the people in it, and it sounds really cool. Last summer, I went to a marine biology camp in North Carolina for 2 weeks, and we stayed at UNC Wilmington and did a whole bunch of field work on the beaches and that's my goal for the season is to work on my shot game and become consistent, and my goals for life are being successful, and what I love the most about being a sailor is all of the people that I play sports with. I love the teams, and I love the nature. My name is Kate Campbell, I'm a sophomore in high school, and proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Select official, and most schools must agree to accept the official prior to the start of the game. Please treat the officials with the same good sportsmanship you treat
some dude gets pulled over for
More championship music is coming up here on Game Time.
and fines legal fees.
Listen to this music. Here at Steamboat Springs, we cheer for our Steelers. They said this day's
Good evening, officer. A woman admires that kind of foresight. And what woman doesn't find it adorable that you call it buzzed, even though the law calls it drunk? You can kiss $10,000 goodbye, along with any chance of having
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Actors.
This is Skip Beardo from Alpine Lumber and Steamboat Springs. Alpine Lumber is a Colorado company and is committed to being the best supplier of materials and related services to the professional builder and homeowner throughout the area, offering lumber and building materials, hardware, paints, and stains. And we are proud to support Sailors Basketball. Easy to find Alpine Lumber, located on Pine Grove Road past Walgreens. Alpine Lumber, employee-owned and operated, contractor's choice, homeowners.
I'm Terry. And this is Phil from Russell's Auto Salon.
If you need help with your auto collision repair, we make it easy. Just bring me an email and a claim number, and I'll take care of the rest.
Russell's Auto Salon, Colorado's premier collision center, leading the industry in technology, where we've gone green with enviro-based paint. And we are proud supporters of Steamboat Sailors Sports.
Russell's Auto Salon, where we always meet by accident. 879-1515.
Russell Auto Salon.
879-1515.
Hey, Sailor basketball fans, PJ Wharton of the Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. The Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all of our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV, Sports on FM, Steamboat High School Athletics, an example of our genuine hometown, the Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown banking. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
Steamboat Sailors Basketball on KTYV Sports on FM is brought to you by Valley Bank.
Steamboat Ace Hardware, mattress and furniture, Steamboat Resorts, Skyview Vacation Rental, and the Paley Group, Colorado.
Steamboat Sailors Basketball on KTYV Sports on FM at 105.7 and SteamboatRadio.com.
Let's go to the booth for the call of Steamboat Sailors basketball. More than excited to welcome everybody in here today to Kelly Meek Gymnasium, where the Steamboat Springs Sailors boys team, short-handed yet very efficient, are getting set to take on the Tigers of Summit County in a cross-division rivalry that should be a fun one going down the stretch here tonight. Sailors boys currently 9-8 on the year, a game above 500 as they're coming off a 2-point victory over Eagle Valley and a tough loss against Glenwood Springs just a few nights before. Summit County, this needs to be a big-time game for them as well, as they're looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. 6-7 on the year, Summit County is, as they look to get to 500 tonight. An interesting situation for the Steamboat Springs Sailors. Not something that I'm going to delve into at this moment, but for the time being, 3 of the 5 starters for the Sailors will not be available tonight. Jake Kreisig, Connor Hansen, Ethan Piles. So for that matter, Coach Van Dahl has had to delve deep into his bag and come up with a starting lineup that can hopefully be just as potent as it once was. And that starting lineup tonight is going to be Eric Pollard, the big-time 6'8" senior, number 42. He's a force in the paint. Cade Gideon, your regular freshman sensation. He started the majority of the games this season. Dawson Lindquist as well will be getting the start here tonight, the senior, number 22. Now, this is where it gets a little bit off. Your other 2 starting for the Sailors are going to be number 12, Devin Crawford, and number 20, Jackson Metzler, who had a light 16 points against Eagle Valley just a few nights ago. Eric Pollard's going to head to center court for the tip-off, and we're off. So this one's underway at Kelly Meek Gymnasium. Steamboat Springs looking to get a big win here. Here's Eric Pollard inside to Metzler for 2 right off the bat, getting things going. Summit County on the other end wearing their all green uniforms. Here's Hector Diaz. Diaz finds Nazaree Poluk. Poluk now back to Diaz. Diaz goes behind his back. He's going to put Jackson Metzler on skates, then dish it over to Cameron Kaloff. Kaloff now, also a football player on this Summit County team, works it over to Diaz. Diaz back to Kaloff. Kaloff now for 2, and he splashes that one home. Cameron Kaloff. This is a very old Summit County team, a very experienced lineup. I'm not going to go and say that they're more talented than the Sailors because I don't think they are, but if we're talking about experience, Summit County's going to have all the marbles in their court, as the layup's good from Eric Pollard on the inside. So Sailors pushing the pace here early. Student section in full effect as they lead 4-2. Top of the key, here's Hector Diaz. Diaz near side top corner, works it over to Corbin Fury. Fury pulls it out, now finds Kaloff again, back inside to Diaz. Around back to Kaloff, in the corner, Fury back inside, here's Hudson. Huston to Diaz. Now Diaz back out again, nothing doing here. Here's a 10-foot jumper, that one won't go, and the board's grabbed by Cade Gideon. Sailors with a great defensive stop there. Lindquist driving in for 2. That one goes. No foul on the play. 6 minutes to go, and the Sailors taking a 6-2 lead. Here's Diaz pushing the pace for Summit County. Diaz over to Kaloff. Kaloff now going to stop the movement of things, transition it back to Diaz, and an offensive foul is going to be called. Illegal screen against Cameron Kaloff. Off-ball foul. Sailors take it back. So Metzler inbounding it to Gideon. Gideon's going to take it up the floor for Steamboat. Gideon beyond midcourt, works it over to Pollard. Pollard holds it above his head, looks for somewhere to go with it, finds Metzler coming off the screen. Metzler pulls the 15-footer, and Metzler can't get it to go. Lindquist on the second attempt. No foul, he missed it. And then he just tried to hit the no-look dish over to Pollard, and Pollard just did not see it coming. That ball goes out of bounds. Summit County getting it back. Here's Huston. Dylan Huston in the corner to Kaloff. Kaloff's going to have to have a big game here tonight. And now a foul called here on the floor against Steamboat. It'll be on Dawson Lindquist, and Summit County's just going to retain possession in the offensive zone. Here comes another young player going to get a lot of minutes tonight, Granger Rowan. He checks in for Devin Crawford, and now it's Summit County inbounding it once more, down 6-2. Diaz near side top corner beyond the arc. Works this one over to Nazaree Poluk. Poluk over to Kaloff. Kaloff now to Fury. Fury to Diaz. Finds Poluk again. Nowhere to go with it. Diaz with his left hand drives in and puts one right over the top of Eric Pollard. 6-4. Lindquist taking it to the rack. Missed everything there. Gets his own board. Goes up for it again. And Dawson Lindquist, one of the best at drawing contact. And I'm sure that in his situation, this is a player, Dawson Lindquist, who was slated to be kind of the main guy on this team, the player of the year, the all-star, the MVP, and The senior just hasn't had his season go the way that he really thought it was going to go. And now with 3 starters out, Lindquist has a huge opportunity here to really put up some big numbers, as he's going to make the first and second free throw, so he goes 2 for 2. 8-4. First quarter action. It's Hector Diaz bringing it up. Diaz into the corner, finds Kobe Courtright. Here's a 3 on the way, that one's blocked. Got up in the air and just fell dead to the ground. Courtright again, he'll line it up, back to Diaz. Diaz, top of the key, over to Poluk. Now finds Fury once more for 2, no good. And Fury can't hit. Sailors doubling up, 8-4. 4 minutes to play in the first. Gideon on the other end. Metzler in the corner. Metzler on the baseline. Metzler with the floater, and that one won't go. So the Sailors, with an 8-4 lead. Diaz going behind his back in the offensive zone. Dishes it inside, finds Andrew Duxbury. Now Duxbury back out to Courtright. Poluk for 3, way off center. Foul called here against Summit. So that'll go against Kobe Courtright. And like I was saying, this Summit County team predominantly, actually entirely made up of juniors and seniors. There is not a single underclassman on this Summit County team. Just goes to show you how young they are. Sailors working uphill when it comes to experience. Here's a 3 from Gideon. Chases his rebound. Knew that was off as soon as he shot it. And he won't be able to corral it as that one goes on the floor. Diaz picks it up. 8-4, 3 minutes to play in the first. Here's Diaz off the screen. Here's Diaz on the baseline, and there's Diaz getting 2. 8-6. Summit County willing themselves back into it. Gideon getting bothered by Diaz. Gideon dishes it off to Kellen Adams. Adams, left-hander, now to Parker Lindquist. This entire lineup on the floor for the Sailors, not a single senior. Would you look at that? Parker Lindquist, Granger Rowan, Cade Gideon, Kellen Adams, and Devin Crawford. Young team for Steamboat. Good hands. As they get called for a foul. And Summit County's going to handle it once more. The foul went against Devin Crawford, and it's a foul on the floor, so Summit County's just going to inbound it. Here we go now on the offensive zone. This is Kobe Courtright. Courtright over to Ben Ryder. Ryder puts up a shot. That one's no good. Rebound Summit. Courtright again. Holding called here, and this one goes against Steamboat. Devin Crawford getting called on the foul. Metzler's going to check in for Rowan, and that's Crawford's second of the game. 2:12 left to play in the first. Corbin Fury inbounding it from the baseline. Fury looks over, finds Diaz. Diaz up top, gives this one to Ben Ryder. Ryder in the corner, back to Fury. Fury kicks it out. Cross-court pass. Here's Ryder again, and Ryder's getting bothered by the long Parker Lindquist. And a foul's called here. Is it against Lindquist? Indeed it will be. So a questionable call there at the very minimum. From the baseline now, it's going to be Diaz. Hector Diaz, the junior, has the ball in his hands a majority of the time here for Summit County. As Diaz looks up, sends it to the corner, finds Ryder. Ryder guarded by Crawford. He'll take the baseline, shoot it back outside, and now it's Marcus Popoff. Duxbury lines up a 2, and Duxbury's short on his shot. Rebound Lindquist. Lindquist stops before he drives in. Adams all the way to the rack, and Adams was rejected. Great play there from Ben Ryder to say no to Kellen Adams' layup. Gideon getting set to check back in. And Summit County looking to tie things up, maybe even take the lead. Here's a three on the way, and they bury it. That's Corbin Fury. 9-8. Summit County with the first lead of the ball game. 1:10 to play. Kellen Adams beyond midcourt, over to Devin Crawford. Crawford back outside. Lindquist over to Metzler. Now Metzler back up top. Crawford to answer. Three ball good. And a vote of confidence gets shot through the junior as he buries the triple. 11-9. Diaz into the corner. It's Fury. Finds Ryder again. 38 seconds to go. Ben Ryder. Back to Popoff, to Ryder for three, and he wanted the foul, no good. Adams gets the board. He's going coast to coast. Adams on the layup, and Adams draws the foul. Kellen Adams is going to head to the free throw line for a couple. 11-9. 24 seconds on the clock. Where'd your friends go?
Don't know.
So Adams' first one is good. And make it a 12-9 lead here at Kelly Meek. Cade Gideon checks back in the game. Devin Crawford going to take a seat on the bench, as Kellen Adams has one more. Lindquist in the game too. Dawson Lindquist, the older brother, and his younger brother Parker, both on the floor for the Sailors. So the second free throw no good, and then a missed pass from Summit. And that one hits the arm of Ben Ryder, goes out of bounds into the student section. And now with 17 seconds on the clock, the Sailors are going to have another opportunity at this thing to close out the first quarter. Here we go. Gideon, top of the key. 10 seconds to go in the first. Gideon loses it on the floor, flips it up. Adams to Metzler, back to Adams, and they get called for a travel. 2.4 on the clock. Summit County probably doesn't have enough time here to get a shot off. We will see. It'll be Diaz inbounding it. Diaz. Looks over, finds Ryder, and that'll do it after one. So the Steamboat Springs boys team, short-handed and very young, is going to hold a 3-point lead against this very experienced Summit Tigers team, 12-9 after one. Student section in full effect here, and another reminder that later this evening, after this boys game at 7:45, actually in just a few moments, that call will be on air. The Steamboat boys hockey team will be facing off against Summit County at the Howie Dome.
This girl, why? Is it bad?
No, she's not moving.
Okay, I'll tell her. You gotta move the camera better. No, someone else was on at home and texted.
So like I was saying, later tonight, Vlad and Chase and Andrew Bilski, two of my close friends, will be on the call there at the Howie Dome. Make sure to go check that game out, or just keep your dials locked, as they'll be taking on Summit County as well. Should be a fun one there. But for right now, Sailors heading out back onto the floor for second quarter action at Kelly Meek. And Summit County is going to get us started off. It's going to be Diaz. Hector Diaz trying to dig into a 3-point lead, 12-9. Sailors leading. Diaz to the rack, and his shot blocked by the rim. Lindquist on the other end. Lindquist turns around. Nice little move to dip in between two defenders. Kicks it to Adams, and Adams misses the three. That would have been a pretty play right there. Instead, it goes out of bounds, and now the Sailors going to be back on the defensive end. So a decent first quarter for Steamboat, as they were able to get 12 points on the board. Ball stolen away for a moment by Lindquist and then goes out of bounds, stays with Summit. Diaz going to inbound. If you're Summit County, I think that you need to test this Steamboat team a little bit more. There's so many things there's just so many opportunities here for Summit County, and they really just haven't been able to push it at all. I'd like to see just more shots from them, more three-point shots, more risk-taking shots, because the only reason they're going to beat Steamboat anyways is if they take risks. So it just seems like why not do it now? Here's Ben Ryder. Ryder up top over to Poliuk, and now a foul called here against the Sailors on the floor. And that's Kellen Adams with his first of the game. And the Sailors both teams actually now have 4 team fouls here in the second quarter. So Diaz is going to inbound it once more. Hector Diaz over to Ben Ryder. Ryder at the top of the key. He runs off the pick. Ryder thought about taking the three. Ryder sends it to Diaz. Now it's back. Ben Ryder for three, and he shoots it this time. No good. Gideon with the board. Pushing the pace. Gideon over to Lindquist. Lindquist with his left hand is going to turn around, put up a shot, and there's a foul beforehand on that. And it goes against Summit County, so a big-time call there. Ben Ryder gets called for the blocking foul, and now Gideon's going to inbound it once more for the Sailors. So Cade Gideon up top to Lindquist, and Lindquist missed the wide-open shot. Now a hard foul, and Lindquist gets up like he's going to do something against Ben Ryder. He's able to keep his composure, and he'll head to the free throw line. Hard fall from Lindquist. I don't think Ben Ryder did it purposefully. Lindquist going to head out of the game, as will Kellen Adams. Crawford and Rowan will head in, so no free throws for Lindquist, rather. And it looks like he was going up for that layup, and Ryder just got caught under him, which is definitely, it's one of the scariest plays in basketball when that happens, when you're off your feet and, someone comes under you. So I think that Dawson Lindquist kind of assumed that he was doing it on purpose, and he got up ready for whatever smoke was coming his way. He was very angry, and he was able to keep his composure, and he's going to take a breather on the bench. Cade Gideon got called for a travel, and now Summit County's back with it. Here's Poliuk. Poliuk outside, going to handle it fine. Diaz. Hector Diaz over to Fury. Fury in the corner finds Poliuk. Now Poliuk's going to drive the baseline again, and he loses it. Granger Rowan on the takeaway. Granger Rowan steps out behind the three-point arc, finds Gideon for three on the way, no good. And once again, Summit County gets a rebound, trapped in the corner. That is Marcus Popoff, and before he was able to get the pass away, we see a timeout from Summit County with 5:48 to play in the half. Once again, I'm Lowen Epstein, live on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at SteamboatRadio.com. Want to say a quick shout-out to some of our sponsors. Shout-out to Caroline McLaughlin and Grace Harper for doing our camera. And if you have any complaints, you can make sure to address it to them specifically. Mountain View Car Wash helping the Sailors clean the competition between Town and McDonald's on Highway 40. Russell's Auto Salon, your premier full-service auto body shop where you always meet by accident. Call Russell's Auto Salon at 879-1515. And Steamboat Ace Hardware, the helpful place for hardware, plumbing, tools, grills, garden, and more by offering our customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products. Here's Summit County back on the other end, trying to put some points on the board. Sailors have yet to score, as does Summit County. A huge scoring drought here in the second quarter, and it will continue as the Tigers throw that one out of bounds. It's a three-point game, 12-9, same score it was at the end of the first. Let's see if the Sailors can knock one in here. Gideon to Rowan. Granger Owen finds Dawson Lindquist. Lindquist runs off the pick, crossover dribble, kicks it back out. Here's Rowan again. Rowan back to Lindquist. Two-man game. Three on the way, and the three is good. Dawson Lindquist finding nylon here in the second quarter, and they go up 15-5. Here's Summit County. Pop-off. Over to Fury. Back inside to Pop-off. Tipped out of bounds. Stays with the Tigers. Sailor student section on their feet. 6-point game. Under 5 to play in the half. Let's see what Summit County can draw up here. Hector Diaz from the baseline is going to handle it. Diaz running out of time, sends it up top, and Fury's able to corral it. Fury to Diaz off the pick, and Diaz airballs the 15-footer. He did get fouled, though. And so Hector Diaz will head to the free throw line. The foul against the Sailors is going to be on Jackson Metzler. So Diaz makes the first one, and finally the Summit Tigers are across the double-digit threshold. Diaz is going to have one more. This one up and in as well. So 15-11, it's a 4-point game. Sailors trying to hang on. Full court press put in play by the Tigers. Now the Sailors trying to break it. Here's Kellen Adams. Adams driving all the way to the rack, and what an attack that was. Kellen Adams putting his head down and diving straight in. 17-11. Califf on the other end. He's getting back in the game. Haven't heard his name in a moment. Now it's Diaz back to Califf. Near side top corner. He's picked up by Lindquist. Now finds Fury. Fury goes between his legs, drive with his left hand, and a reach-in call is going to be called against Dawson Lindquist. This foul, the 7th one for the Sailors, I believe is going to put the Tigers into the bonus and send Corbin Fury, the senior, to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. 4:14 left in the second. Corbin Fury at the free throw line. That one rims out. So the Sailors catch a break there. Lindquist goes on the glass and gets the board, and Lindquist drives all the way to the free throw line and then gets the foul called against the Tigers. So back and forth here we go between the 20s as Dawson Lindquist heads to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Couple change-ups here for Summit County. Banta Sila is going to check in, as well as Dylan Huston. And Cameron Califf will check out of the game. And the reason for that being Califf checking out of the game, the star junior, is that he just picked up his third foul. So Lindquist missed the free throw. Metzler gets the rebound, sends it back out to Lindquist. And now with under 4 minutes to play, Sailors have another opportunity. Here's Adams to Parker Lindquist. Now in the corner, it's Gideon. Gideon over to Metzler. Metzler looking for somewhere to go. He's D'd up at the top of the key by Diaz. Now they lose it, and Gideon just throws it out of bounds. Sailors still leading by 6, but the turnovers have been plentiful tonight. Hector Diaz again at the top of the key. Sends it over to Sila. Sila now to Poluk. Now Poluk back to Diaz. He's in the paint. Finds Sila to Poluk to Diaz in the corner. Back to Sila in the paint, and his shot is denied at the rim. Lindquist driving in. Floater no good. Second attempt can't go. Third attempt, he's fouled. And the perseverance and the pure exertion of just effort from Dawson Lindquist is impeccable. 3:10 left to play. Lindquist at the free throw line. He's going to shoot 2. Eric Pollard checks back in the game. Parker Lindquist getting some valuable minutes for the young buck. is going to head back out onto the bench. So Lindquist, first one good. And now there's 3:10 remaining. Sailors take an 18-11 lead. Lindquist again gets it to go. So 19-11, Summit County looking to get anything, as they have only had they've actually only had 2 free throws since the end of the first quarter. We're over halfway through the second quarter now, and Diaz is going to dance with it. Diaz dances, sends it inside to Huston. Now Huston gives it back to Ryder. Ryder out to Diaz in the corner. And the thing for me about Summit County is this team honestly just looks timid to shoot. Here's Ryder pulling up from downtown. That one's no good. Pollock's with the rebound. Summit County has had looks, and they have players who are getting space. They just seem to be timid in the sense that they really don't want to shoot the ball. Missed 3-point shot from Gideon, and now down by 8. Summit County needs to get something going here. It's Hector Diaz. Diaz over to Courtright. Courtright works it down low, finds Diaz again. Now here's Ryder. Ryder with the right hand Euro step all the way in, and no bucket. It's a foul on the ground against Gideon. And instead, Ryder's going to shoot free throws. As remember, the Sailors are in the bonus. So 2:05 to play in the second quarter. 19-11 your score here on 105.7 KTYV. If you're just joining us, Summit Tigers in town for both hockey and basketball at Kelly Meek Gymnasium. Ryder just made the first bucket, and the Sailors boys lead 19-12 now. To make it a 6-point game, and Ryder prevails at the line. 19-13, he makes both of them. Gideon now going to corral the inbounds pass, give it back to Kellen Adams. Adams now up the floor, hustling, loses it, tips it to Pollard in the corner. Rowan steps away from a defender, puts up a 3, and Granger Rowan with the big-time bucket to make it a 22-13 game. Wow. 1:45 to play. Travel on the other end. Sailors getting it done. Baseline, it's going to be Lindquist as they get it back. Lindquist over to Kellen Adams. Adams trapped in the corner, goes behind his back, finds Gideon again. Gideon back to Adams. They run the 2-man game up the floor. Now Lindquist guarded by 2. Meg's a defender, and they're going to call it a kicked ball violation, as he did get the pass off, though. And now with 1:27 left to play, Sailors going to be leading 22-13. 1:27 left in the half, that is. Lindquist on the inbounds pass finds Rowan, back to Lindquist. Dawson Lindquist posting up. He's going to put up a shot and draw the foul. No! Lindquist frustrated as they call him for a travel. Interesting. 22-13, and Summit gets it back. You need to finish out this second quarter strong if you're Summit County. It's not looking good for them right now. They have been stagnant on offense. The Sailors' defense has just stymied them here tonight. And once again, they do it another time as Summit County throws it away. So just a combination of great defense and very minuscule errors has resulted in a 9-point lead for the Sailors with 65 seconds to go in the half. Lindquist calls Gideon over, hands it off to him. Gideon's going to do the salsa with it before sending it back inside to Pollard. Pollard is going to miss the layup, and the rebound's gathered by the Tigers. 43 seconds on the clock. Ryder behind the back. Drives in. Turns around. Over to Diaz. Diaz guarded by Rowan. 30 seconds to play. Diaz loses control, and Diaz is going to lose possession. Wow. What an absolute magical job by Granger Rowan to get Diaz on the travel. He stepped out of bounds. So 30 seconds to play, and the Sailors get it back again. It's Rowan. Over to Pollard. Pollard at the top of the key. Pollard over to Kellen Adams. Down low to Rowan. Back up top to Lindquist. Final 10 seconds to go before the half comes to a close. Gideon's going to handle it. Gideon runs off the screen and puts up a three. That one's too short. Pollard on the second attempt. And that won't go either. And the Sailors come up empty on the final possession of the half. And they're going to head to the locker room with a 22-13 lead. I'm Lowen Epstein on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at SteamboatRadio.com. We'll see you after the break.
Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM is brought to you by
Steamboat Ace Harbor, Lockwood Auto Salon, Mountain Mattress and Furniture, Steamboat Resorts by River Vacation Rental, and the Paoli Group with Colorado Group Realty.
Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM at 105.7 and SteamboatRadio.com.
Steamboat Ace is a proud sponsor of the Steamboat Sailors. That's not the only way Ace supports the kids in our community. Hi, Bridget here from Steamboat Ace. We are so proud to be a part of the Steamboat community. It's our priority to support and encourage positive activities and hobbies for our youth. How do we do that? In addition to local scholarships, Ace invites the sailor community to fundraise for their activity or club by providing a great venue and supplies to host a hot dog or bake sale. I love it. Every weekend I can shop at Ace and support a great cause. Steamboat Ace, you're proud to support the Steamboat Sailors shopping business.
Hi, this is Grace. My parents own Hot Stuff Hearth and Home and proudly support the Steamboat Sailors. We feature all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more. Call them today at 879-7614 to schedule a service appointment with one of our expert technicians or a free in-home estimate for a whole new one. Hot Stuff loves my Steamboat Sailors basketball and is happy to keep this valley safe and warm. Hot Stuff Hearth and Home, located just off Highway 40 next to Walgreens. Go Sailors!
The team of Mountain View Car Wash and Detailing Professionals is proud to be supporting sailor sports this season. Whether a basic wash or a full detail, we know that the key to providing you with excellent service is teamwork and attention to detail. So while the sailors are focusing on cleaning up the competition this season, we'll be focusing on cleaning up your vehicle. With affordable washes and a wide variety of detail services, we have the game plan to fit your budget and needs. We are located at the corner of Highway 40 and Trafalgar Drive. Mountain View Car Wash, where there are no Hail Marys, just awesome touchdown dances.
Hi, this is Cindy Height, owner of Celebrations and Steamboat Arts on the 8th block of Lincoln Avenue. We recently added a new candy store and pottery painting studio for individuals or groups of 12 people or less. Check out our new additions to the arcade. We have air hockey, dig dug, and Galaga. Book a party online today at steamboatcelebrations.com or call 879-3333. Mention this ad and receive 2 free tokens. I'll see you at Celebrations, 831 Lincoln Avenue. Open daily, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
My name is Shelby, and I'm a senior, and I'm number 30. I'm a shooting guard. I've been playing for 10 years. I also like to play lacrosse, and I run cross country. Outside of school, I'm involved with Youth Inspiring Change, and I volunteer at the Animal Shelter. I would like to go to see you. Let's go Bucks. And I will not be playing in college. Maybe like hiking club. In 10 years, I see myself in the wilderness guiding people in the mountains. My favorite subject in school is science because I love how information. My favorite movie is Forrest Gump. Last summer, I went to China for conservation and sustainability within the local people in the province. And my goal for this season is to go out together and some games. And my goal is for life to be successful in everything I do and hopefully travel the world and save the planet, you know? What I will remember most about being a sailor is the family, the friendship, the lessons I learned. My name is Shelby Weiss. I'm a senior and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
This is Skip Beardo from Alpine Lumber in Steamboat Springs. Alpine Lumber is the Colorado company and is committed to being the best supplier of materials and related services to the professional builder and homeowner throughout the neighborhood, offering lumber and building materials, hardware, paints, and stains. And we are proud to support Taylor's Basketball. Easy to find Alpine Lumber, located on Pine Grove Road past Walgreens. Alpine Lumber, employee-owned and operated, contractor's choice, homeowner's choice.
Hey, Sailor basketball fans, PJ Wharton of Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all of our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM. Steamboat High School Athletics are an example of our genuine hometown. Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown banking. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hi, my name is JC May, and I'm a senior at the Steamboat Springs High School. My number is 21, and I play point guard. I've been playing basketball since 3rd grade. I also like to play lacrosse. Outside of school and sports, I'm also involved in 4-H. I'd like to go to college in Wyoming. I would like to play basketball in Wyoming if I could, but if not, in 10 years, I see myself with a job, living on my own. My favorite subject in school is math, and my favorite movie is Pirates of the Caribbean. I like this movie because of the drama. So this summer, I raised a 4-H market swine named Ron, and I won reserve champion at the Road County Fair. And as well, I went to 4 different basketball camps, all through PGC, which is Point Guard College Camp, in Boulder, Greeley, 2 other places. I also went fishing a lot, in Stagecoach and Steamboat Lake and the river. My goal for this season is to create a positive environment for my peers and my community. And my goals for life are to strive. What I remember most about being a sailor is the community. Once again, I'm Jason May. I'm a senior at Steamboat Springs High School, and I am proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hey, Sailor basketball fans, PJ Wharton of Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all of our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM. Steamboat High School Athletics, an example of our genuine hometown. Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown banking. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
This is Skip Beardo from Alpine Lumber in Steamboat Springs. Alpine Lumber is a Colorado company and is committed to being the best supplier of materials and related services to the professional builder and homeowner throughout the area, offering lumber and building materials, hardware, paints, and stains. And we are proud to support Taylor's Basketball. Easy to find Alpine Lumber, located on Pine Grove Road past Walgreens. Alpine Lumber, employee-owned and operated, contractor's choice, homeowner's choice.
The team of Mountain View Car Wash and Detailing Professionals is proud to be supporting Sailor Sports this season. Whether a basic wash or a full detail, we know that the key to providing you with excellent service is teamwork and attention to detail. So while the Sailors are focusing on cleaning up the competition this season, we'll be focusing on cleaning up your vehicle. With affordable washes and a wide variety of detail services, we have the game plan to fit your budget and needs. We are located at the corner of Highway 40 and Trafalgar Drive. Mountain View Car Wash, where there are no Hail Marys, just awesome touchdowns.
I don't keep sweets.
Your daughter just had her first birthday.
I don't Snapchat people back.
How could you do this to me? And for Sheila, she has split ends. B, console. C, take charge. And get this all straight.
Hey, Steve! Now a good time? No? Okay, no problem.
Or D, help him find a new girlfriend.
I know a great place to meet friends. Nice, single, never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Adopt U.S. Kids.
This is Steamboat Sailors basketball, brought to you from New Car Wash, Russell's Auto Salon, Steamboat Ace Hardware, UC Health at Yampa Valley Medical Center, Chris Puckett at the downtown Edward Jones office, Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rentals, and Mountain Mattress and Furniture.
Now let's go to the booth for the call of Steamboat Sailors basketball.
Welcome everybody back into this one. Exciting one at Kelly Meek Gymnasium. Second half action where your young and depleted Steamboat Spring Sailors team are currently leading the Summit County Tigers 22-13. Little slip up there as the hiccups coming my way. I think I controlled them though, and back underway we go. Dawson Lindquist going to inbound it in the offensive zone from the baseline. He's going to dish it over to Devin Crawford. Crawford sends one out, tried to find Gideon in the corner, and Diaz is able to get a hand on that one and send it out of bounds. So that first half, let's do a quick little recap. 22-13. So not the biggest, scoring output from the Sailors that you would like to see. But that being said, the Sailors did do a tremendous job on the defensive end. They were able to lock off all the best players for Summit County and hold them to just 13 points, 4 in the entire second quarter. So a great job there. Summit County with another turnover also has 15 turnovers in this game. That is astounding. And so the Sailors just looking to keep piling it on while also playing very stagnant defense for the remainder of this one. Here's Cade Gideon over to Dawson Lindquist. Lindquist holds it above his head, finds Jackson Metzler. Metzler's going to drive into the rack for 2, and Jackson Metzler rising above to get that one. Not an easy bucket for the junior. And it comes with Summit on the other end. Chugging up the court, here's Ryder. Ben Ryder dancing with it at the top of the key, gives it over to Califf. Califf finds Diaz. Diaz slips and falls, regains his footing. Now just is able to give this one back to Ryder. Now Ryder's going to drive in, take an opportunity, and perfect defensive play there from Dawson Lindquist. He kept his hands up, got the ball out of the hands of Ryder, and on the offensive end, he'll get credit for the assist as Devin Crawford bangs home a three-point shot. 27-13. Here's a three to answer. That one's no good from Summit. Sailors have a chance to really do some damage here as they look to go up by 17 points. Lindquist over to Gideon. Gideon back to Lindquist. Lindquist is going to drive in with his right hand, step out of the defender and bury the shot. That was maybe the prettiest bucket I've seen all day. Little two-step in the corner, little head fake like James Harden, and he buried that thing, found nothing but nylon. Great job there from Lindquist. Another three-ball missed from Summit County. It was actually blocked by Devin Crawford as Nazari Polu couldn't get anything going. Sailors coming out hot. Here's Metzler, 29-13. Over to Crawford, jab steps, top of the key, misses the pass, out of bounds. Summit gets it back. He was looking for Gideon. .540 to play in the third. Summit County, top of the key. Ben Ryder trying to do damage. Blows by Gideon, stolen away by Pollard, and that's not going to work. Here's Gideon again. Off the rip, into the corner. Lindquist for three. Lindquist buries it. 32-13. Sailors on a run. Wow. Hector Diaz pulls from range. Misses that one. Out of bounds. Sailors get it back. And so now you kind of see the panic for Summit County setting in here as really their past 5 shots have all been frantic three-point shots. Not what you want to see if you're the Tigers. Gideon dishes it to Pollard. Pollard immediately draws 2, works it to the top of the key, stolen away, 2v1. Ryder to Califf. Califf loses it, out of bounds. He saved it from going out of play, and Summit County's going to hang on to it. Here's Ian Connors. Connors with his first minutes of the game. He'll draw the foul. Ian Connors, number 11 for Summit, hasn't been in yet, is going to inbound it from the far side. 32-13 with 4:41 to play. Connors gives it to Califf. Califf now to Diaz. Diaz kicks it back out to Ryder. Ryder's going to pump fake, then put up a shot, and right in the face of Cade Gideon, knocks it down from 12. 32-15. Sailors still up by 17 points. No thoughts of coming back here quite yet, as Summit County gets another takeaway, and then they dribble it out of bounds. So here's what's going on with Summit County, much like that, much to their dismay. Hector Diaz dribbles it off his foot. They're coming away with takeaways against the Sailors. You know, it's not like every single possession for the Sailors has resulted in a bucket. That's just not true. Summit County has been able to force it out of their hands. It's just when that does happen, the Tigers then proceed to lose it themselves. So they basically, the easiest way to say it would be that they continue to shoot themselves in the foot as Califf goes up and grabs a rebound. Summit County back on the offensive end. 3:52 to play in the third. Califf drives, and it's going to be a foul going against the Sailors. Gideon was trying to take the charge. We've seen him do that so many times this year, and so now Califf is going to head to the line for a couple. 32-15. 3:49 to play in the third. Califf at the line. First one good. Cameron Califf. Dawson Lindquist checks out. His brother Parker checks in. Eric Pollard checks out. And Jackson Metzler checks in as well. So 3:49 to play, 32-16. Califf at the free throw line. Missed the second one. He goes 1 for 2. Into the corner. Adams for 3. On the way. No good. Rebound. Rowan. And he gets it forced out of his hands by Califf. Diaz with the ball on the floor, and debatably should have been an over and back call there. Instead, it's going to be Ryder handling it at the top of the key. Califf into the corner. Now they go Diaz. 3 on the way. That one's blocked. And Lindquist gets the board, pushing the pace. Gideon stops off his foot, out of bounds, stays with Steamboat, and Gideon just dove for seemingly no reason. Sailors are going to retain possession. Now Gideon holding his hip as the Sailors take a timeout. You appreciate the hustle, but I'm not sure it was absolutely necessary with a 32-16 lead here in the third. 3:09 to play in this third frame. Want to say a quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7. Mountain View Car Wash, helping the Sailors clean the competition between town and McDonald's on Highway 40. Alpine Lumber, employee owned and operated, the contractor's choice, the homeowner's friend, and Yampa Valley Bank, the Yampa Valley's only locally owned bank, member FDIC, as well as Celebrations, formerly in celebration of kids. This store is fun for kids of all ages. Check out the brand new Arcade Games 1,600 square foot candy store and 25 flavors of Hawaiian shaved ice, plus more. Schedule your party today at SteamboatCelebrations.com. Back underway here in the third. Exactly 3 minutes to play. Here's Jackson Metzler drawing the foul. Califf just got a little bit too rough with him on the perimeter. And now it's going to stay with Steamboat. Dawson Lindquist checks in the game. Cade Gideon is going to take a seat on the bench. So here's the thing that I find interesting. Cade Gideon, the freshman, a starter on this team today, and that will not change. Bucket there from Parker Lindquist. Good mid-range jumper from him. Cade Gideon has been a starter on this team pretty much the entirety of this season. And today, without the 3 starters that they're missing, Gideon has actually gotten less time than he's used to playing when those three are in. Very interesting kind of tidbit there. Gideon has been coming out of the game every couple minutes or so per Coach Van Dahl, and I think that now he realizes, this team is still deep, but they're very, very short-handed now. I think that, you pull a lot of guys up to varsity, and now all of a sudden you're back where you started in the terms of what was once a very set lineup and a very keen roster has now been changed and flooded with a lot of discrepancies that Coach Van Dahl must continue to work through. So I think that this is really just a factor of him continuing to find this lineup and make the correct calls for this team. Foul called on the Sailors. It goes against Granger Rowan, his first of the game. Sailors boys all year, and especially this game, have done a very outstanding job of not getting into foul trouble. So many times we see these teams get into foul trouble, and so many times we see it really define a team, and Coach Van Dahl has not let that be the case for Steamboat, as the free throw is good from Summit. 34-18. Summit County looking to get past that 20-point mark. Dawson Lindquist going to handle it. He runs away from two defenders. Flips it over to Kellen Adams. Adams with a little shovel pass into the corner. Here we go to Rowan. Rowan to Lindquist. Lindquist now into the corner. Back to Parker Lindquist. And the brother-to-brother connection as the two Lindquists connect for two. 36-18. Final 1:37 to go in the third. Ben Ryder handles it. Ben Ryder driving outside now to Connors, now to Diaz, and they're just going to slow things down. 1:22 to play. Here's Ian Connors. And a whistle called here. I believe it'll be against Steamboat, and indeed it'll be Kellen Adams. Devin Crawford checks in the game. Metzler will check out. 1:18 to play. It's 36-18. Second foul on Kellen Adams. And so Ian Connors going to inbound it. Connors gives it up to Ryder. Ryder guarded by Crawford. Ryder's going to go swiftly into the post and put up a shot, but before that he gets called for the travel. So Lindquist did a good job on him. 1:10 to play. 70 seconds in the third. Both the Lindquist brothers on the floor, as well as Kellen Adams, Devin Crawford, and Granger Rowan. Young lineup here for the Sailors. Dawson Lindquist stepping up here big time late in the season. Here's Lindquist driving in, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound Summit. Tie up under the basket and a jump ball. Go ahead and give that one to Summit County. Cade Gideon going to check in for the senior Lindquist. And so Diaz, Hector Diaz, bringing it up the floor. Diaz in the corner. Diaz stutter stepping. Diaz sends it to Ian Connors. Connors for three, and Connors with probably the biggest shot of the game for Summit County as they look to climb back in this one, down 15 now. 36-21. Here's Crawford on the other end. Devin Crawford to Gideon to answer. You bet. Sailors are not even remotely phased as they go down and say, hey, you can do it, we can do it just as well, if not better. Sailors up 39-21. Final 10 seconds in the third. Ryder to Diaz. Diaz to Califf. Califf driving in, puts up a shot and one. And that is not what you want to give up here with 3.1 seconds on the clock. You'd rather just let him get the bucket and let the time run out. Instead, Califf is going to have an opportunity here at a 3-point play. So make it 39-23 now with Califf at the line to extend it. and he missed it. So that'll do it from this third quarter of action. Sailors boys going to go have some words with Coach Van Dahl, and before you know it, we're going to be into the fourth and final frame as the Sailors look to close this one out. So let's take a look real quick at this Steamboat boys remaining schedule. They're 8-9 on the year, 3-3 in the league. 5-1 rather in the league. So to close out this season, the Sailors are going to be in Rifle on February 6th. That game will be next Tuesday on February 6th in Rifle. They're actually going to have a back-to-back, the girls and the boys will, against Rifle and Palisade. They'll be down there for a couple days. And then from there, they come back to Steamboat where they're going to take on Battle Mountain. Now, Battle Mountain is a tough team. Battle Mountain played the Sailors tough. You know, their best player, Liam McKenney, had a terrible game. He was locked off by the Sailors and so forth. There's a lot of things you can talk about regarding that Battle Mountain game, but the point is that needs to be on the Sailors' watch list for games that they need to be locked in for, because the Huskies are absolutely going to give them trouble. Then they go and they play Glenwood Springs at home, which would essentially turn into the biggest game of the season because Glenwood Springs already beat Steamboat, and assuming that they run through the rest of this conference, Glenwood Springs at home in about 2 weeks will most likely be the biggest game of the season, and it probably will decide who wins this division and who moves on to the playoffs. So the Sailors with a tough schedule coming up. Foul on the floor here. And the Sailors, I was praising them earlier for doing so well in terms of not fouling, and this one right here early in the fourth quarter is going to put Summit County into the bonus, and Diaz will head to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1. Not where you want to be if you're the Sailors. Luckily, they are up by 16. So the missed free throw there from Summit. Califf gets the board. He's going to kick this one back out. Now he works it, finds Ian Connors. 3-ball from Califf. That one's too much. Too strong from Califf. Back out to Diaz. He's going to wind one up. No good there, as that one's got too much English on it as well. Now it's Kellen Adams. Adams spins away from a defender. Works over, finds Rowan. Rowan back to Adams, into the corner. Crawford for 3. Side of the backboard. Gets the rebound. Cross court to Gideon. And that's where we slow things down. Gideon on the baseline. Turns around and gets stopped. Finds Crawford. Driving in for 2. Pinned against the glass. His shot's blocked by Diaz. Summit on the other end trying to push the pace. Califf stutter steps. Gives him a jab, then kicks it to the corner. Finds Diaz again. He runs off the screen. Diaz behind the back now, drives in, finds Neowalter, and now it's back to Diaz. 3's too long. Rebound, Califf. Back out again to Duxbury. Finds Popoff into the corner, and out of bounds, stays with Summit. 39-23. Sailors still hanging on to a commanding lead here in the fourth. And just a reminder, directly after this game, Vlad and Chase will be on the call along with Andrew Bilski at the Howie Dome, where your Steamboat boys hockey team are currently underway versus Summit County. That game is going on as we speak. And as soon as this game is over, I will be sending it over there where Vaughn Chase and company will pick it up. And you can keep your dials locked in for more Steamboat Sports on this crisp Friday night game. Weekend just beginning here in Steamboat as cold January month for a lot of these guys. And now with the details that are emerging about this team, a very unfortunate situation. Not going to go too deep into it, but the Sailors have a lot of work to do if they want to close out the final 5 games of this one on a high note. They look good against Summit here tonight, though, and it's a blocking call against Granger Rowan. 5:52 to go in this one. 39-23. Summit, if they want a chance to get back in here, they really need to get going. And with another foul there, it'll put the Sailors at 9 team fouls on the evening. So a 1-and-1 coming for Ben Ryder. And Ryder hits the first one. So the free throws are going to be a huge part for this Summit County team if they want to orchestrate a comeback. Ryder again. That one rims out. It was halfway down before it went in, and they're going to call it a lane violation on Kellen Adams. Adams is the behind man, and really he shouldn't be anywhere near the paint. He should honestly be as far back as possible as to work as a safety defenseman. He gets called for the lane violation, and so they give Ben Ryder another free throw, and he knocks it down. So 39-25, it's a 14-point game. Summit needs a stop. Lindquist over to Rowan. Rowan looking for somewhere to go. He's trapped in the corner, sends it backwards to Lindquist, and now Lindquist is going to drive in with his left hand. Lindquist pulls it back out. He's got the ball on a string, and a foul called here. And it's a hands to the face call against Ben Ryder. Just got a little bit too high up on Lindquist. Sailors get it, retain possession. Kellen Adams, cross court to Granger Rowan. Now to Crawford. If you're the Sailors, there's no time rush at all. You can pass it around as much as you want, and another foul is going to be called here this time against Cameron Califf. And Califf, Ben Ryder just got called for his 4th foul. Califf coming off very frustrated, and he is going to foul out of this game. Wow, apologies to me. Apologies to everyone listening. I was unaware that Califf was at 4 fouls. That is incredible. The Summit County Tigers only have 9 fouls tonight, and 5 of them have been from Cameron Califf. He fouls out of the game with his 5th. That is a huge blow to Summit County. Wow. Here's a 3. No good. Rebound Sailors. Lindquist pushing it. He's still trying to pile it on. Top of the key. Rowan over to Metzler. Down low to Allen. Bounce pass back up to Crawford. Good D here from Summit. Lindquist again to Crawford. Crawford's going to step out of it. Find Lindquist behind the arc on the perimeter. Now to Crawford again. He drives in. Left-hander. Floater. No good. Rebound Summit. Ball's on the floor. Loose ball picked up by Diaz. 4.5 to play. And a foul called here against the Sailors. And that is going to send Andrew Duxbury, the junior, to the line. So surprising enough, as old as this Summit High School team is, there's only 3 seniors on this team: Dylan Huston, Corbin Fury, and Ben Ryder. Everyone else a junior, as the foul's called on Jackson Metzler, his 2nd of the game. And now, 2nd free throw, no good from Duxbury. So Lindquist bringing it up the floor for the Sailors. Dribbles it off his foot. He's going to chase after it. It's on the floor. He's able to hustle after it, and get it away to Metzler. Good play there from the senior. And a timeout from Coach Van Dahl. With 3:59 to play in the fourth and final frame at Kelly Meek Gymnasium. It's been a fun one. Earlier in the day, the Steamboat Springs girls team getting a big win over Summit County in what was probably one of the biggest wins for the Sailors in the past 10 seasons. That marks their 6th win of the year. They moved to 6-11. They're a top 3 team in the conference, and their playoff hopes are very well alive. So interesting things to keep track of there for the Sailors girls team as they came away with a big win today. They're going to look to keep things rolling on Tuesday, as will the boys when they head on to their next road trip in Rifle on Tuesday. I believe that game will actually be Friday. Mac, the schedule reading it as Tuesday, but it will actually be on a Friday next weekend. Sailors do not have a game this week. Lindquist driving to the rack. He'll shoot too. And Dawson Lindquist, man, I gotta say, I have not seen him with this much energy and efficiency in a long time. I don't want to be the one to say it, but I think that with these 3 players out for the Sailors, it may have benefited Dawson Lindquist greatly, as he has stepped into a huge role for the Sailors, the one that he really intended to be in from the start. As he makes the first free throw, puts the Sailors